Let's turn a little money into a lot of money. What are the best alt win total bets you can make in the 2026 NFL season? We'll discuss that tonight. And then, of course, some other things as well. Before we get into everything, please hit like, subscribe, comment below, share this video, visit the links in the description to the merch store. As always, I'm wearing something from the merch store as our March is Greed Month t-shirts. You can get this as well as everything else at the merch store. We currently have a 10% sale right now. You can get these shirts in different colors. You can get them in hoodie, long sleeve, women's tank top, and infant onesie. We have our mugs. We have our famous apron. We have playing cards, mouse pads, blankets, baby bibs, everything else you could possibly want. 10% off. Although mostly everything you can want. We've discussed other things that aren't here yet, but we'll get to those. You can go to Amazon, buy my books. The most recent one is Jerks of the College Years, which has a 5 out of 5 rating. So this might be the best book of all time. If you haven't read it, check it out. And then Safety and a Field Goal, which is a top 5 topic book about the NFL. And please consider super chats and super stickers. That is the best way to support the show. I say it all the time, and it's true. YouTube pays us nothing. I can go outside and collect change, and that would be more than YouTube gives us. So if you guys really want to help keep the show going, the super chats and the super stickers is really the best way to go. We haven't had one in a while, so it would be nice to get one here now that we're starting a new month, actually second half of the year here. We are joined by Andy Iskoe from thelogicalapproach.com. Andy, how are you?
I am fine. You're joined by me both audio and visually. Not quite sure I can promise the visual. What do we make tonight? 6.5, the number of interruptions since going live.
Yeah, I think 90% of the money's on this over already. So, well,
yeah, they don't mind laying the minus 180 either on the over.
I know. Well,
now, I know people would say a bet like that, I can control it, but believe me, I can't control it.
It's true. We know that from experience.
Yeah.
Unless you've been setting us up the whole time to take the money, which we've seen from other creators here, or at least ESPN.
No, I am scrupulous, not unscrupulous. I'm scrupulous.
Mm-hmm. Well, there are more unsavory characters out there, as we've seen in the news. We discussed that a little bit yesterday.
Which ones were you talking about yesterday?
Matt Miller. He's the NFL draft, one of the NFL draft analysts they have in the ESPN.
Right.
It's coming to light.
I thought I read something about him yesterday, didn't I?
Yeah.
What was it about?
Yeah. So he's been accused of having like scam charities. You know, like you were saying that like he's donating laptops for soldiers.
Oh.
Straight to his Venmo account. The Coats for Kids never went to the kids allegedly. And a lot of other things. I
didn't read you mentioned a couple of things, and I think I read it like in the headline that introduces the article.
Yeah,
I saw that yesterday.
Yeah. Apparently, I saw today an article. He was the commissioner of 91 fantasy football leagues, and a lot of people were saying that they never got the money. So I don't know. He's taking a lot of money from these people. Apparently, high stakes leagues. That's what's been reported, and I know for a fact that one of my former employees wrote a cease and desist letter to his former employer because he kept. My employer said, I want to be careful here. My employer said that he was stealing his content, and so he sent it.
Wait. Say that. Okay, start that one again. Yeah, a former employee of yours.
Yes.
Right.
He alleged. I want to be careful here. He alleged that Matt Miller was stealing his content, and so he had his lawyer write a cease and desist letter that he sent to Matt Miller's employee.
And did he stop doing it? Or you don't know?
So. I think he did because I didn't hear any more complaints about it.
Oh, okay.
So allegedly.
So now, what is Matt Miller's position, or should say is?
He's a NFL draft analyst on ESPN.
Oh, on ESPN.
Yeah.
So is he still with ESPN, or is it they're looking into the matter?
I think they're looking into the matter, but yeah, he's still with them. I don't understand. Well, maybe I do understand because Mina Kimes is there, but his coverage is awful. Like he predicted, and this is not like a year in advance. Like he predicted a few weeks before the 2013 NFL draft that Matt Barkley would be going number 7 overall, and Matt Barkley went in the 4th round. It's like flimsy, predictions like that. Everyone has bad predictions. Like
was that the what was that, the USC quarterback?
Yeah, Matt Barkley.
Okay.
So
where's he from? Where's Miller from? California?
He lives in Missouri.
Oh, okay.
Joplin, Missouri, apparently. So.
Oh.
Yeah.
Joplin, I was just reading about Joplin, Missouri, one of the stops on Route 66.
Oh, okay. Well,
I did not realize this is the 100th anniversary, I guess, of the completion of Route 66.
Is it? Okay. I didn't know that.
Yeah, I think it starts. I want to say it starts in Chicago and ends in Santa Monica, I think, or Santa Barbara, one of the two. I think it's Santa Monica.
Okay. I have never been on Route 66, so
I've been on parts of it.
Okay.
But yeah,
I've flown over it probably.
Yeah.
I've never been there. So
I think I was there in the Seligman, Arizona, which I think is somewhere on the way towards the Grand Canyon.
okay. I went
So
there.
I've been
I was
there a
there
few
when I was,
times.
I was there when I was 8.
Grand
my
Canyon?
parents- yeah, my parents were looking at houses in Phoenix, and they're like, "Oh, we're out here. Might as well see the Grand Canyon." And so,
Oh yeah.
yeah,
Did you enjoy it, or do you not remember it?
I was 8.
Uh,
I was more excited to go to the Phoenix Mall and get like Nintendo magazines. That was the
I was going to say you were looking to go to the souvenir shop
Yeah.
for the Grand Canyon and get a coloring book
yeah. That's exactly. I was 8. My sister is 5. I doubt
and
she
a new set of Crayola crayons.
Yeah. Actually, it's funny. My friend who comes on here sometimes, the Omniferal, he can't say what his name is. He works for the government, but he always jokes around because there's a home video of me that we watched. He's been my best friend since we were 5. Like there's this home video of me, and I'm holding up 2 Nintendo magazines. I'm going Nintendo Power Volume 1, Nintendo Power Volume 2, but like I'm a kid and I'm so enthusiastic about it, and so he always quotes me. He's like Nintendo Power Volume 1, Nintendo Power Volume 2, and so he said it to me the other day, and I'm like, dude, Nintendo Power Volume 1 is like worth like $3,000 right now.
Oh, the magazine.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's I don't know if it's that much, but it's very expensive. So
well, you know what you ought to do? You ought to make the copy of the video and copyright it and send it to Nintendo. Maybe it'll be a good commercial.
yeah, that'd be awesome.
There you go.
They never published my world record in Mario Kart, so I still am upset with them.
Just
But,
don't hire Mr. Miller's attorney to do the patent search for you with the copyright search.
Yeah, exactly. It's definitely not going to do that. But anyway, we're going to talk about alt win totals today, and the interest for me came up in preparation of betting win totals, and to me, I'm like, I really don't have much interest in locking up a lot of money to win the same amount of money for 6 months. Like if this were a month or so, or maybe a little bit more, I'd be okay with it. But I was thinking about it. I was like, oh yeah, I really like the Lions over.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm gonna put 5 units on. I'm gonna like park $500 somewhere to just win about $500 for 6 months. I'm like,
not if you go like over 11 and a half, for example.
Right, exactly. So I wanted to look up really good win total bets so I can bet a little bit.
You may have just picked the best one on the board, by the way.
With the Lions, yeah. I mean, that's
because they play a 4th place schedule. They are not a 4th place football team.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we talked about them
a few weeks ago.
Yeah. We think they're going to rebound. They look great and everything. Their safeties are both out. That's one issue, but overall their team is outstanding, and like you said, they have a very easy schedule. In fact, according to our slew schedule rankings, as I explained a week ago or 2 weeks ago, one of our commenters, Slew, put together schedule power rankings according to my own NFL power rankings.
Right.
So the Lions and Saints were tied for the easiest schedule in the NFL. So both those teams, I believe we would have interest in, and I could pull up the schedule rankings in a bit.
I think I have more comfort in the Lions only because of their 3-4 year history of being a much improved team since Dan Campbell took over. They had that 0-10-1 start, and you take that out, his record is like 70% since then, even with last year in there where they were 9-8. I keep thinking they were worse than 9-8. They were 9-8 last year. They tied with Minnesota, but Minnesota had the tiebreaker edge, and that's a 3-game difference in playing a 4th place schedule versus if they had finished first playing a 1st place schedule.
Yeah, it's not like they bottomed out. Like 4th place, you think like 6-11, 5-10.
Yeah.
Like no, they had a winning record, and they lost a lot of close games. They had the coordinator change. They had a bunch of injuries. A lot of teams have injuries, but still.
Montgomery wasn't there. Was Montgomery there last year?
Yeah, he was.
Okay.
but they had a lot of defensive injuries.
Yeah.
They lost 2 offensive linemen heading into the season, actually 3 if you think about it. And then they had a lot of changes.
Didn't the center retire?
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so he tried to come back actually, and he was not healthy.
Couldn't make it. Yeah.
Yeah. So the center left. They're one of their guards, Kevin Zeitler, left for Tennessee, and the other one, I think. I think he left to be a free agency as well. So like they had a whole new interior line, and they just couldn't gel quite together. But I think now they fixed a lot of it. So we could just jump into the Lions if you want, and
Sure.
go division by division. So the Detroit Lions on DraftKings, and I'll bounce back and forth between DraftKings and FanDuel. Their over under is 10.5, so we can go to 11.5. and have plus 175, or 12.5 and plus 320 on FanDuel. We're going to have baseball up since Friday, actually. We discussed some win totals, some divisional bets for baseball and World Series bets. But Lions here, the over 11.5 is plus 140, so less, and 250 for the over 12.5. So DraftKings is the best book here. So how do you feel about Lions over 11.5 and 12.5 at?
Okay, so they're what's their number? 9.5 is the standard number.
10.5 space.
I'm sorry, 10.5. Okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah, let me mark that down here. Yeah, what's the price on the over 10.5?
Minus 110.
Okay, so that's the pick'em price.
Yeah.
Okay, so 11.5 is what?
Plus 175.
And the 12.5?
Plus 320.
Okay.
And the camera's off, so that's number 1.
Oh, okay. Again, well, that was actually number 2 because I caught one before that.
Right. But, well, it was the first one live, and then
okay. I think it was live, and I just noticed it was off, and I turned it back on, and then you noticed that it was just off again.
Oh, okay.
All
right.
Yeah, let me see something here. Let me get my book out here about the Lions, so I can.
What book is that?
No, it's Athlon. So I got the records from that. I haven't gotten the Mark Lawrence book, which has the instant information going back to 10 years, but that is on its way. Where is it here? Oh, the last 5 years. Okay. In 2023, they went from 3 wins in 2021 to 9 in 2022 to 12 in 2023. 15 in 2024, and back down to 9. Looking at their schedule as we've done before, and I forget, I don't have it in front of me right now, but I don't know, given the quality of the division, and I know that you're down on Green Bay, but there's still some semblance of talent there, and you've got a proven regular season coach, let's say that. Because that's what we're talking about, the regular season. When you take a look at, you're basically saying, can they go 13-4?
Mm-hmm.
And so when I'm looking at that, I look at the games that they quite possibly could lose and see if I can get up to 6, to say that, 12-4 is unlikely. I could see them losing at Buffalo in week 2.
Yep.
I could see them losing to New England in Munich in November, but that's halfway through the season. That's the next one I could really see them, let's say, being an underdog to. I'm not quite sure. We don't know what those teams will be.
Mm-hmm.
I could see them. The more I look at it, I don't think I can see 4 losses or 5 losses that I can say for certain.
Yeah, I mean, they'll probably split with the Bears. And
Bears, Lions, and even Bears, maybe the Vikings, and possibly the Packers.
Right.
I say and I think we probably talked about it way back when. I mean, I'm talking like that. We may have said that the Lions probably their most likely scenario would be. I'm going to turn this off for a second and see if I can get the
someone's going to suffer a seizure.
Yeah, there we go. That won't count because that was a deliberate one.
Okay.
That had absolutely no effect. So I'm going to go do this.
There we go. I think two deliberates, I think, equals. Oh, the handy's gone. No, this schedule looks very easy to me. You know, Saints will be better, right? Panthers will be better. I think Andy's it's not yet. Yeah, the Bucks, they're always competitive with Detroit. They always play each other. And then you know, you have a bunch of like the Giants will be better, but like the lines are still a lot better than these teams.
Yeah.
So okay,
what I was going to say is that I think when we went over it, I thought that the most realistic scenario is that the Lions go 4-2 in the division, meaning that they sweep one of the other three opponents and go 1-1 against the other two.
Yep.
And maybe the most likely you could say would be Minnesota, but it might be Green Bay.
Yeah, could be. Depends.
Because Minnesota's defense may keep him in it. What's that? Goes what?
Yeah, depends on Parsons' availability. Obviously, the Green Bay didn't win a single game when he was out. So.
Yeah, but you remember they've now had an entire season to fully game plan and make adjustments or whatever. So, it wasn't all the fault of the defense. Although I don't know, Hutchinson was healthy the entire year.
Yeah, I mean, he was coming off the injury. I mean, he still had a great year, but maybe he's going to be even better. And they added talent around him. So.
I would say over 11.5 at plus 175 is reasonable. 12-5 seems realistic.
What do you think about?
Because remember, if you throw out last year,
mm-hmm.
and because of the injuries and everything, you're talking about dropping from 15 wins down to 12.
Yeah,
that's a big drop for a team that's playing a much easier schedule this year with the fourth place schedule than they did last year when they played the first place schedule.
What do you think about betting both? Like one unit on the over 11.5, one unit on over 12.5. So even if you split, you're still up. What do you think about that?
I might go for a half unit on the 12.5.
Okay. I think Evan might join us. We'll see. I think if Evan were on here, he'd say no, bet the same, because he yelled at me when we were doing our live betting and we are doing the ladders and whatnot. And I kept saying, I'm going to go one unit on this wrong, half a unit on this wrong, quarter unit. He's like, no, do one unit on each. And that ended up working out better. So we'll see.
Yeah, it depends. Well, are you talking about like the ladder for various points and everything? Or are we talking about
for rushing yards? So for example, if like Derrick Henry is at 100 rushing yards at the half,
right,
and the yardage over under is like 180 for the game, he would like go 180 one unit, 200 plus one unit, 225 plus one unit.
Okay,
like that. Yeah.
Well, see, that's different only to the extent that you can gain huge chunks of yardage on one play.
Yeah.
The problem with it here, well, not the problem, but the alternate argument is that, it's a huge difference between 12-5 and 13-4.
Yeah, it's true.
Okay. So in other words, if I get my over 11.5, I'm happy with the one unit.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And I'm getting more than twice. Well, I'm getting a little bit less than twice that price, from 175 to plus 300 to go again. So that if I can win the first and win the second, even at half a unit, I'm still up over 3 units on the thing.
Maybe if you really like it, maybe a unit and a half on the 11.5 and then 1 unit on 12.5. Maybe that. Or like 2 units and 1 unit, something like that. Some sort of ratio.
You can do it that way. The problem is that, or not the problem, but the concern is that because the maximum number you can get is 17.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You're already saying I'm going to get, if you go over 12.5, it's basically 75% of the maximum getting 13.
Yeah.
So there's and again, the other factor is how many close games will be involved in that could be coin flip games. What will be the injury situation be, and how much is that extra game worth, going from 11.5 to 12.5? Now, if you were going from 11 and a half to 12, where you could push on 12. That's a little bit different analysis, but again, it depends upon your risk profile and how you value things. I look at things like I say, can I find if I'm going to go over 12 and a half, that means I got to go 13 and 4. So I'm going to build in a 1-game safety net. Can I find 5 losses?
Right.
If I can't find 5 losses, then I probably would be a little hesitant of going over the 12 and a half. I'm sorry, that I could make a better argument for playing over the 12 and a half, because 13 and if I can't find 5 losses, that means I'm looking at 4 losses or less. So I could make more of an investment on the 12 and a half than if I could go to 12 and 5. Because now we're only talking about a halfway either way, but you're getting a nice payoff for that. That's why I would say I'll take the chance on the half unit, as opposed to, a rushing yard where you have a chance with that ladder approach by playing a separate unit. And let's say it's, 25 yards difference, 150, 175, 200, 225, etc. You could easily get to a higher number, in like 2 or 3 plays, depending on, and let's say you make that play at halftime.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You've still got 35 offensive plays to perhaps get those yardage. And so it's a lot easier, I think, to gain, 50 yards and a half if you've already gained 100 and you're that kind of running back, than to necessarily say, in other words, I guess what I'm saying here is that when you're doing something that is cumulative or counting, you can never, well, I shouldn't say you could lose 2 yards, but basically once you're over 150, you're not going under 150, you're only going higher.
Yeah.
When you're in a game situation and you're leading, it's always possible that you could lose that game. Okay.
Sure. Yeah.
In other words, so you could have, a 7-point lead in the fourth quarter. That doesn't mean it's a win. And so, we saw Detroit involved in a lot of close games that one year they win them and one year they lose them. So, but that could be any team. So, again, if you want to be, I guess, you could look at it also. You're tying your money up for 6 months, 5 months, whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
If you bet the half unit on the over 12 and a half, okay, and you're already at 12 wins, okay, you're going to cash your 1 unit bet on the over 11 and a half. Okay.
Yeah.
You don't know what's going to happen to the 12 and a half, but if you have a half unit on it, okay, and let's say you use $100 unit, okay, so you win 175 on the over 11 and a half. If you bet half a unit, once you've gotten to that 12 and you need 1 more win, and you know that even if you start 12 and 0, you've still got 1 chance in 5 that you're going to lose, that you're not going to win a game. Unlikely for both scenarios. Unlikely to start 12 and 0. But the point is that even if you play half a unit, you're going to win 150.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that's true.
And again, it depends how many of these you're playing. If this is the only one you're playing, yeah, put 1 unit, maybe even 2 units on the over 12 and a half. Take that as your long shot.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're going to play 5 or 6 teams, you're tying up a lot. And how greedy do you want to be?
Yeah, no, I mean that's the whole point.
In other words,
not put a lot of units on this.
Let's say you play
6
let's say you play 6 teams in the alternates.
Yeah.
You play a unit on each 6.
Mm-hmm.
And you're doing it at a nice plus price. So if you go 3 and 3, you're going to make money.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe you want to say, you know what? Let me play a half unit, or even, well, yeah, I guess you could say an extra unit on it, so that if on the 3 that you hit, now you may go 4 and 2, you may go 2 and 4, but let's say you go 3 and 3, you might hit 1 or 2 of those 3 that go over that extra number.
Right.
You just don't know which ones, of course.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, betting less is kind of the point of this, to like not tie up a lot of money, but still
Yeah.
have the same sort of payout with the
Yeah.
teams that we really like, and not be like, oh, we're 1.5 wins over, let's take this for like 1 or 2 units, or we're like 2.5 or 3 wins over, let's bet 5 units on this and tie $500, tie 500 here, tie 500 there, 500 there. Like, it adds up, you know. That's why I was thinking. Just
Well,
like,
that's why I was
so
saying
fun.
let's say you do the 6 teams.
Yeah.
Okay. And let's say, so you're going to bet 6 units on the first number, and then you want to decide, do you want to bet the 6 units on the second number, or half a unit for an additional 3 units? Okay. Well, if you do really well with the first 3, you know, with on the main number, you can tie up 6 units to get a little bit more, to get nice more value, but you're holding it 6 months. Or you can say, you know what, I'm still going to get a nice profit if I hit the second one at half a unit, but I'll have another 3 units to invest on a week-to-week basis.
Right. Yeah.
You know, the 6 half units that you don't invest.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's just a matter of personal preference, and you know how much of your bankroll you want to have tied up, and you know how comfortable you feel. But I mean, how comfortable you feel. You want to feel comfortable enough to at least play that first number.
Yeah. Right. Exactly.
You know.
Yeah.
So I could make a case for playing at least a half unit, maybe a full unit on the 12.5. But again, you know, the other concern is the injuries. You know, where let's say a quarterback or a running back or a receiver misses 3 to 5 games.
Yeah, that can happen to any team. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, but it happens to both the 10.5, the 11.5, and the 12.5.
Yeah, I understand. I mean, well, in the under, if you take a team under, and then you can benefit from the injuries. So, it goes both ways. So I mean,
but
like
the other problem is, on the other hand, because again, you don't have the extremes that you have in the actual results, where you can have teams go 14-3, 15-2, and you can have teams go 2-15, 3-14. You know, the number of opportunities to play under is, you start with a team that's like do you feel comfortable playing under a 7.5, or you feel comfortable playing under a 4.5?
Right. Yeah.
Because there's less leeway there. You know?
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean that's baked into the price. You know.
Yeah.
So it really depends on how much you like the team, or how little like you, or how much you hate the team. And we'll have some alt unders.
Evan has probably, I haven't done it, but I'm guessing Evan may very well have done an analysis going back a number of years, where he can assign the value of each additional win based upon the lines and how they are adjusted when you go from 7.5 to 8.5 to 9.5. And remember, that's not, the alt lines has not been universally available for many years. You know, for many years you had one number and they adjusted the VIG instead of going to another number. In recent years, I'd say the last 3 to 5 years, more places. I remember it starting with Circa. I don't know, it may have started with some other places, offshore, but I remember here in Vegas it started with Circa and their alternate lines, probably going back about 4 or 5 years. Probably 2021, I would say, is maybe when they did it. So there's a history out there. If you have 32 teams a year, so 5 years, that's 160 teams worth of evaluations that you can do to see, okay, over 6.5, might have been minus 120. Over 7.5 might have been plus 160 or plus 140 or something like that.
Yeah, I remember. It was definitely the Circa, and I remember you showing it to me the first time. I'm like, oh wow, that's so cool. Thinking about, and now every sportsbook has it.
And now, by the way, the other way you analyze it, the way the analysis is done, is you do it not necessarily for specific teams, okay. Although that's affected by the VIG, but I mean 7.5 is 7.5, and how those numbers vary, but the variance between a 7 and what's the variance on a 7.5, over under versus the variance on an 8.5 to go, over 9.5 or under 7.5.
Right.
So you can do it overall, but also in addition to, in other words, going from 8.5 to 9.5 on the over might be worth 60 cents, and going from 9.5 to 10.5 might be an 80-cent adjustment, because you're taking one more win, one more loss out of play.
Yeah, I mean, you could definitely see that here. I mean, 10.5 to 11.5 was $1.85, and then
Yeah.
175 to 320. That's almost it's a
Yeah, well, you one I marked down was 175 to 300, which is still,
yeah,
a buck and a buck 45.
yeah,
Going
yeah.
now, what was it from? Okay, whichever book, which book do you have there now?
DraftKings
Okay, let's go from 8.5. Start with 8.5 and go up to 9.5. What's over 8.5?
minus 320,
Okay, over 9.5.
minus 170. So it's
So that's a
100.
buck 50.
Yeah,
Over 10.5.
minus 110.
That's 60 cents.
Yeah,
And now
so
over
plus
11.5.
175.
Okay, so that's
It's
plus one. That's
85.
an 85 cent. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
And then to 12.5 is 320. So it's 145.
85 to 135. Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's so the value of going an additional win increases
Mm-hmm.
as you go from 7.5 to 8.5, or 8.5 to 9.5, 9.5, 10.5, 10.5, 11.5, etc. And that's again because you're eliminating one more loss that the team can get, and you're approaching the maximum of 17, or actually over 16.5.
Yeah. Right.
Because if you're going over 12.5, that means 13 is what you need. If you're going 16.5, you're going 17-0. So it'd be interested to see. So I guess, like we're saying, the analysis would be, okay, what has the historical analysis been for teams that were priced at 11? And well, I guess you would start a baseline of what's the minus 110 price,
Right.
and then you go down and up off that.
I think just based on this, if there wasn't over 13.5, it would be close to plus 600. I think.
I was going to say at least close to 500.
Yeah.
You're going from like plus 145 to plus 200 difference. So
Well,
maybe it might be between 2.25.
It went from 80 to 145, right?
That's
so
65.
No, right.
Wait.
65 difference.
No, wait. Let's start over. Go the 8.5. 8.5 to 9.5.
That's 150.
What was the What are the raw numbers? What's the 8.5?
Minus 320.
Okay, and then you went to minus 150.
Yeah,
right?
So it went to minus 170. So
okay, that's $1.50.
Yeah. And then 170 to minus to 110, so 60 cents.
Yeah. Oh, well, okay. Well, you know what it is? Let's start at the 9.5, because that's the pick'em number.
Yeah. Well, minus 170 at 9.5 to minus 110 at 10.5. So
okay, I'm sorry. 10.5 is the pick'em number.
Yeah. So 60-cent difference from there to there, and then minus 110 to plus 175. That's 85 cents.
85, right?
And then 11.5 to 12.5 is a plus 175 to plus 320, which is 145. 145.
Right.
So yeah, if it wouldn't be another 145, it would be more than that. It would be, I think, at least 200 or 200.
No, that's what I'm saying. 200 would bring it up to
plus 520.
Plus 300 to plus 320 to plus plus 500 plus 520.
Yeah, but I thought it would be like maybe 250 more. So that's why I said close to 600. But I mean, who knows? We don't have that data here. But yeah, I mean, it's just
we don't accept. Well, what's the highest number that we have over? Don't we have 11.5s?
Yeah, I think Baltimore. But it's the same.
What's the Rams?
They're also Baltimore and the LA Rams are both 11.5.
I'll go with Baltimore.
All right.
I think they have an easier schedule than the Rams.
11.5 is plus 115. 12.5 is plus 215. So we have $1 more.
$1.
And then 12.5 to 13.5 is plus 425. So that's 210.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's 210. 210 more.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So it increases exponentially. Yeah. So maybe if there's an over 14.5, it would be $4 more. Maybe like it'd be 8 plus 825 or something.
Yeah.
So maybe
you'd have to put it like, I mean. And I don't know if I have a little number, how far back I have the numbers going. Some of the stuff I save, some of it I save it all. I just misplace a lot of it. But no, you could do a spreadsheet, and your baseline number would be the pick'em number.
Sure. Yeah.
Like in the case of the Lions, it's 10.5.
Yeah. Yeah.
In the case of the Jets, it might be 5.5. I think.
Yeah. It's,
Let's
yeah.
just see what they're.
It's 5.5. Yeah. We'll have Smith.
What's the
news,
5.5 there? Because it's what is that minus?
I'll enlarge minus 120.
Oh, okay. On the under and even money on the over.
Unders 5.5 plus 100. Over 5.5 is
Okay.
minus 120.
Okay, so yeah, so even money.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's a standardized number for the Jets. The one that's closest to being minus 110 each way.
Yeah.
That would be the baseline number. And you can see, like,
course,
in other words, let's say if you go under 5.5, it's minus 120. What is it if it's 4.5?
Plus 200 for the under 4.5.
Is that 200 or 250?
Oh, you're going over 4.5 is minus 250. Under 4.5 is plus 200.
Oh, okay. Yeah, let me go back to the. Oh, okay. Why am I seeing it differently here?
What do you mean? What are you looking at?
Oh, okay. No, I'm just seeing where the. Because I see minus 250 next to the under.
Mm-hmm. The over.
I don't see the word over.
Right there.
I see it. Okay, over 4.5.
Over 4.5 minus 250.
Oh, okay. I was looking up and down. It's left and right. Okay.
Yeah.
So you have to. Okay. So now. Okay. So you have to hover. Okay. So it's minus 250. Okay. Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah. I was looking at it differently, but yeah, 5.5 would be the number.
Yes.
That you would base everything. And so what I would want to do if I were going to design the study, maybe you can do it with GPT chat if they have that information.
I'm sure you can. Yeah.
You know that. Okay. Take the number that has between the over and the under. So, for example, in the Jets case, the lowest difference between an over and an under is at 4.5, whereas a 20-cent difference between the over and the under.
Mm-hmm.
And then you go down, and so for any team where let's call it the pick'em number, for lack of a better term, is 4.5, you'd want to see how that variance differs. Going down for the various. I would imagine for most teams it'll be very close to, in other words, let's say the Titans are 5.5. They might also be minus 250 for the over 4.5. Let's say.
Right. Yeah. Well,
What's the Titans number?
They're 6.5 somehow.
Okay.
And I was going to ask
you.
The
Giants. The Giants might be 7.5. Maybe the Commanders might be 6.5.
They're 7.5.
Okay, and the Giants?
I think they're also 7.5. Let me see. Yeah, they're 7.5.
Okay. Well, then let's compare the Giants and the Commanders.
Okay.
Okay, 7.5 is minus 10. What's 6.5?
Minus 190.
Minus 190 and plus 54.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so go to 6.5. Go to 7. Go to 6. Go to 7.5 just to make sure that's pick'em. Minus 90 plus 94 on Washington.
Okay, so that's the Giants.
Minus,
no, it's the Giants. That's the Giants.
Yeah, that's the minus. What's that? Minus 190. No, go to the 6.5 on the Giants first, where we just were. Minus 190 and plus 54. Now let's go to Washington and see where that 7.5 is priced.
Okay. Same thing. Minus 110. No, sorry. The 6.5. Sorry, 7.5 is minus 125 and plus 105.
Okay, so that's a minus and plus. Okay, what's the 6.5?
Minus 215 plus 175.
Okay, yeah. So it's based a little bit more. Yeah, you would. Yeah. Because the vig to play under the 7.5 for Washington is minus 25 versus minus 110 for the Giants, and the under 6.5 was minus 190 on the Giants, and it's minus. What do we say? 210 on Washington on the 6.5, right?
Yeah, right.
215. 215. Yeah, instead of 190.
Yep.
Okay, well, it's a 5 cent. 20 versus 25 cents. Yeah.
Right. Okay. Yeah. All right. So I think we agree that Detroit is a good team to go.
Detroit is worth a.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, I'm going to write down for my purposes a half unit, but
half unit
fully on the 12.5.
Okay.
Yeah.
And full unit on 11.5, right?
Full half, yeah.
Okay. All right. So in that same division, we have Chicago. Their over under is 9.5. Their 10.5 is plus 170. Their 11.5 is plus 310. And Chicago's schedule is tougher.
Okay, I'm
than
sorry. Go.
Detroit.
Okay, yeah. Let me get back here because I'm going to write that down. 'Cause it's easier for me to follow that way. Okay, the number for Chicago is 9.5. And what's the over under, Vig?
For 9.5, it's plus 100.
On the over?
Yeah,
And on the under, it's minus
120.
on the under.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's at 9.5. Okay, and now let me get to 10.5 and 11.5. Okay, what's the VIGs on the 10.5
Over 10.5 plus 170.
and the under?
Minus 210. It doesn't matter what the under is. So then we're not going to bet the under 10 minus 210. It only
Yeah,
matters
you're probably
for the
right.
over.
Yeah, okay, yeah, okay, and then on the 11.5.
Plus 310.
So fairly close to what it is for Detroit, going up from 10.5 to 11.5, 11.5 to 12.5.
Right. But we like Chicago, but not as much. So I'm not sure if I would go with this. They went 11-6 last year. Now they have a first place schedule.
Yeah, let me get Chicago here. 11-6 with 2 losses at the end of the season, both in close games at San Francisco. That was that fun game, and at home to Detroit by 3. So they were on a pace for going. Let's see, they were 11-4, so they were on a pace of going possibly 13-4. And what were they the year before? Let me see what they're.
Not good.
See, 20...
That was the year.
No, they were 5 wins, 7 wins, 3 wins, and 6 wins going all the way back. So they increased by 6 wins last year. Now, normally, when a team increases by that number, history suggests they regress.
Yeah.
Oh, number 3 has just come up, by the way, on the.
We're halfway there.
Yeah.
Almost halfway there.
Almost halfway there.
Yeah.
Where are we? We are only 41 minutes in. Okay.
We're like 9.
Okay. Yeah. So normally you would say a regression.
Yeah.
But like I've mentioned before, I like the fact of the improvement that. Well, it's kind of like I think I said that with Dan Campbell on Detroit. Oh boy, that we got to number 4 very quickly.
I know. Like the 6.5 is the under is cooked.
Maybe for the first hour. No, what I was going to say with Detroit. Let me get them again here. They went from 3 wins in Campbell's first year to 9 in the second year.
Yep.
And you would think that would be a regression, but they went to 12, and then when they went from 12 to 15. And the regression came in last year when they dropped from 15 to 9. But the point is that I like coaches who show a significant improvement in the first year that they're taking over a team, and they're coaching a quarterback for the first time, as was the case with Ben Johnson and Caleb Williams.
Yeah.
So while we might see a regression from 11 to 6, 11. Down, I'm not so sure that the Bears will show that kind of regression. I certainly could consider them as an even money play over the 9.5 because I do think they're a 10-win team.
Yeah.
And I could certainly see them, equaling. Well, let me get back to the Bears here because I want to see. Well, I talked about those close losses at the end of the season.
Right.
Okay. Let me see. Okay,
the
Bears.
Also has some comeback wins, like against Green Bay.
Yeah. Okay, a 3-point loss to open the season, a 1-point win at Vegas. Same score the following week at Washington.
That was, by the way, that 1-point win in Vegas made my bad beat book as
okay.
Well. Yeah.
Okay, then they had that 47-42 win at Cincinnati. 4-point win at Minnesota, 1-point win at 4-point win at the Giants, 2-point win at Minnesota, 3-point win to Pittsburgh, 7-point loss, 28-point win, 4-point win in overtime. No, that can't. No, that's a 6-point win in overtime at home to Green Bay. 4-point loss and 3-point loss.
Mm-hmm.
So 9.5 may actually be the right number when you consider all the close wins that they had. Okay, which I think equaled more than the close losses that they had.
Yeah.
So maybe that I like the Chicago team. Plus 170. That might be a half unit play on the over 10.5. I don't know that I want to play over 11.5 because that's now suggesting 12-5.
Yeah, I hear you. I feel the same way about this. I don't know if I'm going to bet it. I like Detroit a lot more. Again, this is a first place schedule, a lot tougher there. Instead of like Tennessee, they play Jacksonville, for example. So yeah, I could see myself maybe half unit, 1 unit on the plus 170, but I agree. 11.5 is going to be a tough ask. Okay, so we don't have to do every team. Like I feel like Minnesota will both be like, oh, it's probably the right number. Because
by the way, that microphone off. That microphone off does not count as anything. I muted it to keep everyone from hearing my sneeze.
Well, I was on the win. I was in the other window, just scrolling down, so I didn't even see it.
Okay.
So, no. So what I'm saying is like we were both pretty much in agreement with what Minnesota's number was. So we're obviously not going to bet the alts.
We had Minnesota. I had 7. You had 8.
Yeah, and it's
Green Bay. I had 8.5, and you had 7.
Yeah, Green Bay might be worth.
We both had. Yeah. No, we both had Detroit at 13.
Yeah,
so that can justify at least a partial play on the over 12.
Exactly. Yeah. Right.
And I had 11. You had 11.5 on the Bears, which basically means they're probably going to do what they did last year.
Mm-hmm.
So I can play over the 10.5. But the 11.5 is, just a little bit too, unless you would, if you were thinking you'd play a unit on 10.5 at plus 170, maybe you do the half unit.
Maybe. Yeah, I'm not as excited about that one.
Okay.
But definitely much more on Detroit.
Yeah.
Green Bay, we might be looking at under here. At least I am. The total for this is under 9.5 is plus 115. The over, by the way.
Okay. Minus 115, minus 105.
No, sorry. The Green Bay over is minus 140 at 9.5.
What is that? What's the number at 8.5? No, I'm sorry. At 8.5. What's the under 8.5?
240 and 194.
No, that's the over 8.5 is minus 240.
Yeah. The over is minus 240.
Okay, so and what's it at 9.5?
Minus 140 and plus 150.
And at 10.5.
10.5 is plus 125 and minus 150. So the real number is probably 10.
Spread. What is it at 9.5?
Minus 140 and plus 115.
Yeah. Okay. That's closer to pick 'em than the 10.
Right. So the true number is probably 10. They just don't list it.
Yeah. Well, what'd you say the 10.5 was?
The 10.5 was plus 125 and minus 150.
Okay, yeah. So it's close between the 9.5, 10.5. Yeah, maybe 10 was the right number.
Yeah. So anyway, the under 8.5 is plus 194. I'll check FanDuel. Plus 155. So you're getting ripped off there. But they do have an under 7.5 at plus 260.
Okay, say that one. I'm sorry. Say that one again. Under the, what'd you say? The under 9.5 is, or the under 8? Under 8.5.
Plus 194. Plus
194 under.
Yeah.
Okay, and the under 9.5 is minus.
Plus 115.
Oh, plus 115.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I had Green Bay when we did this first exercise at 8.5. So
yeah.
If I can get plus money at the number that I projected to go under, again with the injuries and everything, I might consider Green Bay under, but I probably won't play it.
Okay, I love it. I know Tom loves it more than I do. He has the Packers at 5-12. I have them at 6-11 in my season previews. So yeah, I definitely like the under. There's no
What's
7.5.
what's the situation with Josh Jacobs?
It's up in the air. No one knows. I
Is
don't
that
know.
a
I don't know.
holdout
No, he was
or is there an
arrested
injury?
for domestic
Oh,
violence.
okay. Off the
Yeah.
field thing.
Yep.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Where's the trial? Green Bay?
I don't know if there's a trial. I don't know.
Oh,
I haven't seen any updates on it, but there
okay.
could be suspension. We'll see.
Yeah.
Parsons for me is the bigger factor. He's arguably the best defensive player in the NFL. Probably after Garrett. And he may not be there for the first 6 weeks. So that would be huge for them. And they also lost Rashawn Gary.
Well, remember, by the way, the fact that they lost every game without him last year, it's hard to say that, I would suggest with Green Bay overall without him, now that they're familiar with him and know what he can and can't do and work in the offseason, all that, I wouldn't be surprised if they're 3. And I don't know who the teams are, but I could see 3-3. I would not immediately downgrade them that much because they may play 6 games without him.
I personally would downgrade them a lot.
And also, by the way, that's already factored into the 8.5 or the 9.5.
Is it though? I mean, the real total is 10. It's pretty high.
Well, no. I'm saying, but that total that they came up with the 9.5 has to factor in the fact that he may be out for the first 6 weeks.
Is it though? They didn't.
In other words, let's say he was healthy. Maybe the total would have been 10.5.
Maybe, but then again, they won 9 games last year, and the total's really 10. And he's not going to be there.
I'm saying that they won 9 games, last year.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I don't know. I don't know the answer to that question. I don't know if they factored that in enough. I think he's worth more than half a win. But I don't know.
Well, he was last year, but you see, that's it. Okay. Where's a team that you can expect some improvement this year? Well, when you miss an All-Pro for half the season, or 6 games, or whatever we missed last year, I don't care that they lost, but they're going to be with him they may be with him without him for the same amount of time. Let's put it this way then. They were what, a 9-win team with him last year?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So let's say that they get him back after 3 weeks instead of 6 weeks.
Okay.
Now you take a 9-win team that probably plays an easier schedule than they would have played if he hadn't missed those games. What are the Green Bay's play? Well, Green Bay's playing the second place schedule.
Yeah, second place.
Yeah. Okay.
So it's not that easy.
It's not that. Yeah, but it's still not. Where does he rank on your Sluey or whatever you called it?
Sluey. Let's look. I have it here somewhere. Total. Here we go. The Packers are. I think it's the last image.
It's got to be down towards the bottom because of the division they're in.
They actually have the 14th toughest schedule. So
middle of the pack.
Middle of the pack, yeah.
Okay. Well, yeah. I was going to say the reason why I was going to say it because they play the division that they're in. That would make it a tougher schedule, not an easier schedule. 14, if you throw out the division rivals. Now I haven't seen it. I saw it somewhere. I'm trying to remember what publication I saw it in, where they broke the schedule down, division, schedule difficulty based upon division, based upon the non-division conference games and the interconference games. And I would think that Green Bay probably had one of the tougher in-division schedules because you're talking about Minnesota, Detroit, and Chicago.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. Were they 9? They had 9 wins last year. Green Bay.
9-7-1.
9. Yeah, because I could say they had the tie in there as well. Dallas tie, I think. So, yeah. So I actually like my number of 8.5. Now that I look at it a little bit more, because again, when you consider the fact, and again, that he, I don't think the Packers are going to perform that badly. 8.5.
Yeah, I think Andy's kind of in tune with what their number is. Yeah. I think they're
they're 9.5. I had them at 8.5, but that again has a lot of toss-ups in there that they could win some and lose some. I haven't gone back and done that part of it yet. We'll do that in a couple of weeks. But No, you mentioned one of the things I think we both did. The number of personnel from the organization, the administrative part, the management part, are now with Miami.
Yeah.
They may not help
lost that.
Miami, but it could hurt. Well, let me. I don't know how closely you follow. How many scouts left Green Bay that you're aware of that went to Miami?
I don't know about scouts, but yeah, they lost their offensive coordinator, they lost their quarterbacks coach, they lost their one of their obviously the high end personnel guys,
and they lost their starting quarterback or their backup quarterback. Yeah.
And
how much of a drop off do you see from Love to Willis?
I thought Willis is better than Love. I thought Willis is better than Love when he was out there.
Okay. Yeah, I just think that. I'm comfortable passing on. I don't even know that I will play Green Bay under or over the regular number.
Okay, I'll be all over the under. I think this team's gonna it's gonna bottom out this year.
6-11.
That's what I have. Tom has them at 5-12. So
and their season total, we said that for this purpose is 9.5.
Yeah,
more likely 10, but 9.5.
Right.
So you would probably play under the 8.5 and the 7.5.
Yeah, unfortunately, there's
you got him at 6-11.
There's no 7.5 on DraftKings. However, there is a 7.5 on FanDuel, but it's plus 260, which is not that off from the plus 194 here. And the reason for that is because the under 8.5 is plus 155 compared to the plus 194 here. So FanDuel is kind of chipping people on these on these lines, but maybe at BetMGM you can find a good number of Caesars or et cetera.
When you're looking to play overs, the thing you have to be concerned about are injuries.
Right.
You don't have to be as much concerned about injuries when you're playing unders because, for the most part, injuries to your team helps you.
Yeah.
The problem with Green Bay is that if you're playing over, the absence of Parsons for however length of time it is hurts you for the over.
Mm-hmm.
At the same time, if you're looking to play under, any games that he plays above what he played last year hurts you also.
Yep.
So he can be hurt both ways. If you assume or consider that the 6 games that he is missing this year is a realistic conservative element on the high side. In other words, it's more likely that he would miss 5 than he would miss 6.
Mm-hmm.
More likely he would miss 4 than he would miss 6 or 5 even.
Right.
So the chances are that playing the under with Green Bay, although, yeah, you do have the personnel change, but again, you're talking about who was from the depth chart, the backup quarterback.
Right.
Okay. And I think Green Bay strengthened themselves in some of the offensive areas, but we don't know the Josh Jacobs situation. A lot of teams have situations like that. You got Washington with Jaden Daniels. We think he's going to be okay, but we don't know. And we don't know how long he's going to be healthy if he is okay. So, I could see you playing under the the total's 9, and I could see you playing under the 8.5 and considering the 7.5 if indeed you believe that there's a good chance, and I don't know what percentage you want to give it, maybe 50-50, maybe 60-40, you'd feel more comfortable with, that he misses those 6 games.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't think that he will, because I have to believe, given the fact that the Packers won 9 games last year, and when they lost him, they lost a big part of the defense that you couldn't really recover from, on a week-to-week basis. Okay, but I have to believe, given that Green Bay, considering they won 9 games with him and a tie, have to think that they're a playoff caliber team this year if they get him back at some point.
Maybe. I mean, they did lose.
What the organization considers. What's that?
They did lose personnel. They lost Rashawn Gary.
But they got personnel. It's
who? I don't think they got personnel.
I don't. look at it that class. I looked at the number of names, and I know there are a number of names on there, but you know,
Yeah, they didn't sign anyone except for Javon Hargrave. This guy is an old player at the stage. It's like 34, I think.
Even 33. So,
I mean, he's not good anymore.
We've had players at that age come in and have great seasons.
Yeah, but I mean, it's one. They added one guy.
Season.
Like they added one guy. Like it's not looking good.
Well, keep in mind when you lose personnel, it gives players who are second or third on the depth chart an opportunity to show that they deserve to be a number one, but couldn't because the guy they're replacing was better or more experienced than them.
Yeah, but they had a chance when Parsons was out last year, and no one stepped up. But they still had Gary. But now Gary's gone, and now they don't have anyone to rush the quarterback.
Is that worth? Is that worth 6 wins, 6 losses?
6? You mean in general, like in total, or what do you mean?
Yeah, for the team for the year.
I mean, if Parsons is out, I don't see they have a winning record. It depends how long.
Let's see what their first.
They had 0 wins when Parsons is out. 0 wins.
That's irrelevant at this point because that happened in the middle of a season when Daniel Jones. You think the Colts are bad because they couldn't win with Daniel Jones out, and now he's going to come back and play more. They're not as bad as they look.
Torn Achilles is going to be pretty bad for them.
What's that?
Torn Achilles is going to be pretty bad for Daniel Jones.
It could be.
No, it wasn't the end of the season. It was pretty late in the season. It was like week 13 or 14.
Who's that? Who are we talking about now?
When Parsons got hurt, it was the Denver game.
That's a third of the season.
Yeah, he's
13,
going to be
14,
more.
15, 16, 17, 18.
I think it's week 13. I'm pretty sure for week 14.
Okay, so 14, 15, 16. That's 5 games. 5 out of 17. That's a little bit less than a third of the season.
It wasn't 13. It wasn't even 14. It was week 15 he got hurt, so he missed 4 games.
No, he only missed 16, 17, and 18.
Yeah, well, I mean, he missed the second half of 15. They had a lead and they blew it because he got hurt, and then week 16
was that the Denver game?
Yeah, they were up.
Yeah, so then they lost by 6 in overtime at Chicago. They lost by 17 to Baltimore. And they lost by 13 to Minnesota. So you made it sound, because I didn't go back and see when he got injured, but you made it sound, the season's over. They lost like 18 in a row or whatever. It wasn't that many without him. They lost some games with him, obviously, but the fact is that again, it's a team game. He's 1 out of 22 starters, 1 out of 24 starters when you include the special teams, the kicker and the punter. I think Green Bay can win at least. Well, here's who they start with: Minnesota, at the Jets, home to Atlanta, at Tampa Bay, home to Chicago, home to Dallas. I could see them winning at least 2 of those games. I could see them winning at the Jets and at home to Atlanta.
I would personally make that 1-5, the first 6 games. I think they beat Atlanta,
and I could see them possibly beating Minnesota with the quarterback situation.
Who's Minnesota's quarterback situation?
Yeah,
I mean, it's going to be better this year.
What's that?
It's going to be better this year. It has to be with Murray, and plus, if it is McCarthy, that means he beat out Murray.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Which means that he may have been less bad than Murray. Not necessarily.
Yeah, but I mean, Murray's bad. Like when he's healthy, he's not. He's okay. He's not bad.
He's learning the new offense first on. So we can make a case for a team winning almost any game or losing any game. It's just the strength of the case may be different.
I mean, the odds are gonna be lower. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, but we're still talking about season win totals now. We're not talking about betting the individual games on the money line.
Well, I know, but their odds of winning each game is lower, without Parsons, obviously.
Well, obviously, but is it is their win percentage goes from 60% to 40% or 40% to 20%?
Right.
They're at the Jets. It's probably over 50%. Atlanta at home
with Parsons or without Parsons?
Without Parsons.
Oh no, I think the Jets win that game.
No, they can beat the Jets.
Oh, I think the Jets are better than the Packers without Parsons.
We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see.
We'll see. Yeah. They also get a healthy Kraft and Watson. Well, Kraft's coming out the torn ACL, so I don't know if he's healthy. No. And then Watson, he's never healthy. He's never played a full season. So, I mean, he's going to be healthy week 1, And there's camera number 5.
Oh,
And
number 5 already? Yeah.
Watson will be hurt at some point. That would be shocking if he played the whole season.
There we go.
You know? Yeah.
All right, we better speed this up a little bit.
Well, there's a lot of teams that we're not going to
We've
discuss.
talked about, and we're an hour in.
Yeah, I wanted to touch on this. Walt, did you watch my video when you're on the walk? Drew, today I was obsessed with From videos from the show on Amazon/MGM Plus. I just watched the finale of season 4, and so I had a lot of questions and a lot of, I mean, it was the season finale, so I was just that's all I was watching all day. It's just like on loop, just like different From videos.
By the way,
I
do you
didn't
have
watch any
HBO?
fantasy football. Do I have HBO? Yeah.
Do you have HBO? You know
Yes,
Larry
I do.
David?
Yes.
You know his new series? It's hysterical.
You watched it? I didn't know it was out yet.
I watched the first episode over this past weekend.
Okay, I didn't know it was released yet.
Yeah, it started. I think it's on Fridays, and
that's a weird
it's like
day
at
to
9
have it,
p.m. 9 p.m. Eastern. And anyway, it's called. I think it's called Larry. In something like.
Yeah,
Larry,
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
It's Larry pursuing life, Larry, and the pursuit of unhappiness.
Oh, that's what it's called?
Yeah, it's hysterical. He basically goes through a lot of historical
That's my
episodes
pursuit of
throughout the history of the country, and he
Yeah.
puts himself in there. Like no, I'm not going to spoil it for you, but there's really one with Rosa Parks, which is hysterical. You remember who she is?
Yeah.
She was the one who wouldn't give up her seat.
The bus. I know the
in
bus.
Alabama,
Yeah.
on the bus.
Yeah.
So I can
I know a
tell
few
you what
things.
it was. Yeah, I can tell you what it is. It's hysterical. So
Okay,
you let me know if
I'll
you
watch
want me
it.
to tell you
I'll
or
watch it.
not.
I'll
Okay.
watch it.
Yeah.
I'll watch
You
it.
can probably watch it on replay. So
Yeah, it's on HBO.
let me know
Max,
what you think of that
yeah.
that part of the episode. The whole thing is pretty funny.
Okay. Yeah, it looked funny. But yeah, I didn't know it was out yet, so that's why I didn't see it.
Yeah, I just happened to see a couple of promos for it. I actually didn't see it when it first came out, but they on Friday, but they replayed it, I think, on Saturday,
Okay.
and I recorded it and watched it also. So it was pretty funny.
Okay. I assume you don't watch House of the Dragon?
No,
Okay. I didn't think you did. It's okay. It's all right.
I only watch a handful of TV other than documentaries, news, sports, and music.
Okay. I watched all that
I think the
stuff,
last
Game of
series I watched that was a drama series was 40 years ago with Dallas.
Was that the one where someone shot someone we didn't know?
Who shot JR? Yeah.
Who shot JR? Yeah.
That was a well done series back then.
Yeah, and that was Patrick Duffy was in it, right?
He was in there. Larry Hagman from I Dream of Jeannie
Mhm.
was in
Yeah.
there. Victoria Principal was in there.
Okay.
Whole bunch
I've never seen it, but I heard good things. So
It's got to be on reruns somewhere.
I'm sure you could stream it somewhere.
Yeah.
Okay.
But,
yeah.
So I'm passing on Green Bay. I have no interest in betting them either for their full season regular number or under or over the adjusted number, the alt numbers. You're
Okay.
looking at the under 9.5, or you're looking
8.5.
under the 8.5 and 7.5.
7.5 if I could find a good number, because DraftKings doesn't have it. FanDuel does, but it's not a good number.
How many places do you have other than those two?
There's BetMGM, Caesars. I don't know if Kalshi has alts. They might.
Do you have them
there's
up
also-
on the screen, Caesars and MGM?
I could.
Well, just be curious, only because they don't have the 7.5 for Green Bay.
Yeah, Caesars is asking me for my phone number here. My 6
Oh,
digits
forget
number.
that.
I bet MGM I might be able to log in.
Yeah.
It's so annoying with these 6 digit
Oh no!
numbers.
I thought you had it. I thought you had it on the chart there, like with everybody else.
Oh no, I didn't do a full chart. I was
Okay.
super
No,
busy
then
today.
yeah, we don't have to do that then, unless
Okay.
you're curious.
Well, I will be shopping around. Like before
Okay.
I post my picks, my official picks that I'll have on the site. I will be shopping around. So, okay, let's go to the let's work backward from what we did for the.
Okay, so
win
we're not
total.
going to do Minnesota.
No, we'll skip them. We can't. We'll be here all night if we do every team.
Yeah. Well, we
so
break it
let's-
up into 2 weeks because although we still said we're going to consider the make or miss the playoffs.
We could probably not get
I want to let's do that next week.
Yeah, we can do that tonight.
Yeah.
Next week. Okay, so
Because a lot of that's going to build upon what we've done and what we're doing tonight with the alt wins.
right. Okay, so NFC South.
In other words, I'm not going to bet the Detroit Lions won't make the playoffs this year.
Right. Yeah, that's not what I'll be doing. That that was for last year. Okay, so Panthers. I don't feel strongly either way. We can skip it unless you wanted to touch on it.
What's the number?
7.5.
7.5.
Mm-hmm.
What's the over on the 8.5?
Plus 180.
And what is it? 9.5.
Plus 320.
I
don't know why they don't have it all the way up. Just go to 16.5.
Yeah.
Plus,
they don't have
10.5. No, they don't.
So the Carolina number is 8.5.
Yeah, I want to see if Carolina if FanDuel has the over 10.5. They don't. Okay.
All right.
The over. This is weird. The over 9.5 on Carolina on FanDuel is plus 340. It's actually a better number. So FanDuel offering the better number here as opposed to the other the two NFC North teams.
What did you say? Plus 340.
340, and the 8.5, which is 180 on DraftKings, is plus 210 on FanDuel.
So what's their flat number?
7.5 plus 125 minus 145. So it's really 8. It looks like.
So what's the over 8.5?
Actually, it should be 7. Sorry. The over 8.5 is plus 210 on FanDuel.
I think I like that over.
You do? Okay. Well, they have to have a winning record, obviously.
Well, yeah. Well, they play in a division where this year I think they can do it.
I think they could. I feel like
although they do have that number 1 schedule, but
yeah, I don't know.
But I go back to the fact that they played the Rams and beat them last year at home, and nearly knocked them out of the playoffs at home in the second game. So that's there's one on the number 1 team. Who would they be playing? Did they play Carolina last year? I mean, did they play Chicago? Last year?
I don't remember them playing Chicago last year.
Let me see here. Let me get the Panthers out here.
Well, I know they beat Green Bay.
Yeah, but they're going to play Chicago this year as I think they play them as a number 1 seed. Let's see, 20. Let me get Carolina. Last year, let's see. Last year they did not play Chicago last year. Yeah, they played. They played the NFC. Good. Who did they play? Oh, the NFC West.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's right. That's why the West rocked the.
They played the. They had Arizona.
Yeah.
Arizona, San Francisco, the Rams, and Seattle. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, they got crushed by Seattle at home, but they beat the Rams at home.
They didn't play Chicago last year.
Right.
And this year.
Looks like they play the. They play the North.
Yeah, that's right. They play Chicago, Detroit, Green Bay. So in the East, they play at Philadelphia.
Yeah.
Yeah. And in the AFC, they play the North.
The North, yeah.
So, yeah, Cincinnati, Baltimore, and they play Denver at home.
Mm-hmm.
I could see Carolina winning 9 games.
I could see it. Yeah, I could see it. They have a better defense this year.
Yeah.
But then again, I don't fully trust everything there.
No.
So Evan's here, I think, maybe.
Hey guys.
Hey, how's it going?
Hey, happy summer.
Hey, Evan.
You too. It's been a while since we've spoken.
I just don't see a picture.
Yeah, there's no picture for Evan right now.
No picture?
Yeah. Not yet. There it goes.
There he is.
Oh, there we go.
Okay. The camera is just transferring him.
I'm back home in my New York house for 1 day.
Well, then you go up to camp?
Well, I'm up in the mountains the entire summer.
Yeah.
But I have to travel back and forth for work sometimes.
Okay.
But yeah.
You get Friday off?
I mean, I get whenever I want off. But,
okay.
Sometimes work calls, and it's only a 2.5 hour drive. I'm actually not too far away from Wall.
What
Come
town are
visit
you in?
Holmes,
Oh,
I'm in
where?
Holmesdale, Pennsylvania.
Oh,
Wait, where
say
are
that
you?
again. Holmesdale?
Holmesdale with an N.
Owensdale.
Holmesdale. Well, you could tell me how far away Holmesdale is from your house.
How do you spell
Is that in the Poconos?
It's very close to the Poconos.
there we
Holmesdale,
go.
Honesdale.
Yeah.
Let me do a search here real fast.
Is that near Allentown?
It's 2.5. It's 2.5 hours. So
it's 2.5 hours.
Yeah. So
well, anyway, I heard some of your
almost
talk about win totals, and I will tell you that I have really nothing to add because I am no.
Well, we're doing alt win totals. Sorry, we're doing alt win totals. Yeah.
Alt win totals. Oh, even better. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, I wanted to ask you. It's great that you came on because I wanted to ask you. Would you handle the alt win totals like you handled the ladders in the NFL? So, for example, if you like the Lions, would you bet like 1 unit on over 10.5, 1 unit over 11.5, 1 unit over 12.5, or would you scale it down? Like, how would you treat it that way?
Generally, with the win totals, what I've done historically, and I haven't thought about laddering it with the odds. So the answer to that question is no. I don't necessarily ladder it with the odds in the direction we've done for player props. But what I've done is I've parlayed easier, quote unquote, easier plays to get better odds overall. So, like, for example, if you take, like you said, the Lions were one of the teams that I thought of originally this season when the schedule came out. I thought it had a really, really easy schedule. I've gone through my initial schedules, and let me just take a quick look at where I ranked the Lions. I think I had the Lions as one of the easiest schedules in the league. I actually wrote joke next to the Lions.
It should be because last year they played a number 1 schedule. This year they play a number 4 schedule, and the Lions are not Lions are not a 4th place team.
Right. So I wrote joke, and we look at this every year. A couple of years ago, we had the Eagles with a really easy schedule. The Niners last year, obviously the Patriots last year.
Last year, the Patriots,
Right. Yeah. So the Lions jumped out right away as a team that had a really easy schedule. So if their line is 10.5, so yeah, I would potentially look to ladder 11.5, maybe just for fun, maybe for a single unit. But if you look down to the 9.5, or sometimes I look not so much at the over-unders, but more like the 8+ wins, 6+ wins. Well, 6 is probably silly, but 8+ or 10+, and then package that with maybe 2 or 3 other teams, you're going to buy yourself a game or two, and then get a better odds on the overs. I generally don't like playing win total overs because
injuries.
If the quarterback gets hurt, you're finished.
Yep.
Now, I love, to the contrast of that, I love playing unders because if I like an under and the quarterback gets hurt, I'm in business even more. Yeah. So I really
we were just talking about that with the Micah Parsons situation for Green Bay because of the uncertainty of where he's going to be playing.
Yeah, but that's now factored into the line, right? So
that's what I was saying. And the line is still like 9.5 on the Packers.
Yeah, it's like a 10. It's like a 10 line, which they didn't even have 10 wins last year.
Yeah, so that's probably an under that I would look towards at 9.5.
Walt loves that.
Again, what if he comes back a little bit sooner, right? I wouldn't necessarily say I'm in love with that under. I mean, I certainly would lean towards the under.
No, that was my point. That if he comes back sooner than expected, and the talk right now is 6 weeks. If he comes back sooner, that hurts the under.
Well, I actually noted parts because I did my initial power rankings, which are probably very poor right now, something that I wouldn't necessarily bank on. But I had the Packers kind of right in the middle of the pack. But
was that a pun?
Parsons as a minus. Was that a pun? Which is a huge
was that
drop.
A pun for the Packers in the middle of the pack?
Didn't mean to say it like that. Without Parsons, I would have Green Bay as a below average team, and
below or slightly below.
Slightly below. Slightly below.
So like 8 and 9, 7 and 10.
Yeah. Somewhere in that ballpark. Okay. Without Parsons.
Okay. To me, they didn't win.
I would say without Parsons for a season, they're probably a 7 to 8 win team at most.
Yeah.
Okay. To me, like they didn't win a single game without Parsons last year.
I'm not a Packer fan. We've talked so many times about Jordan Love, and I think Jordan Love's overrated. I think for his career, he probably averages, off the top of my head, somewhere around 230 yards per game, somewhere in that ballpark. Mm-hmm. So I'm not a Jordan Love guy. Obviously, Watson is good, but Watson doesn't stay healthy. So you can bet the Watson yards for the season under and assume that he's going to miss a half the season or a quarter of the season. So I do lean towards unders in general. What I really liked and I started doing it last year, and it was amazing, is packaging teams not to make the playoffs.
Yeah.
And that was fantastic. And I got burned with Carolina, but I didn't get burned because I hedged. So I ended up kind of going even Steven on will they or won't they. Even towards the last couple of weeks of the season, I was getting plus money on them making the playoffs as Tampa was falling apart. So I'm not in the risk business here. I had thousands of dollars on the line on Carolina not making the playoffs with almost no risk. So to hedge that off was very easy. And then, of course, I bet on them a couple of times where I was able to build my equity for those positions and taking the no playoffs. Those were great bets. I'm looking forward to looking for those as we get more towards playoff season. But I'm kind of more in my off-season mode right now. We did very, very well in the NBA playoffs. My little boy is a Knicks fan. I grew up as a diehard Knicks fan, so I had
Me too.
Knicks as for futures, just for fun. So I had a lot on the Knicks, and then I went crazy with rebound player props, which was off the charts. I made 80 units in game one on rebound props alone. So
Nice.
Josh
I
Hart.
mean, it was just ridiculous as these games played out. So I'm kind of in my off-season mode. I have not been betting. Unfortunately, I have not bet USA Soccer. I did watch USA Soccer tonight. I did not bet on USA Soccer. I was trying to figure out ways to ladder soccer shots.
Yeah, you
not
said
soccer
corner.
on
You
target.
texted me corners. I'm like, what is a corner? What are you talking
Yeah, I was looking at all laddering corners in a game, and then I realized in watching that shots is the way to go.
about?
So not shots on target, but just shots in general. But
Okay.
now I'm
How
just
do
not
they
really-
define a shot?
Very
as
good
opposed-
question. I have no idea.
No, as opposed to a pass.
I have no clue. Very good question.
Yeah.
Very
No,
good
no.
question. And I think-
Whoever's betting the over is defining it.
yeah, and also the refs just don't blow the whistle, so your extra time is just out of control. It's such a joke.
Now I'll bet you what you could bet. You probably could bet yellow cards.
I don't even know. I don't know the rules enough. I'm just trying to watch, and it's
It's
I'm
okay,
in
you're
an
just like the
area on
refs.
Holmesdale. We have a lot
The
of
refs,
people in our camp that are international staff. I have a lot of international staff working for me. Specifically a lot from Argentina. Couple of other places too, but really predominantly Argentina. So where I am, we have about 1,200 people living over, let's call it 165 acres of land, and it is very fun to talk to some of my international staff about the soccer, or as they call it, the football. I don't know what that means, but
Yeah.
they seem to think it's called football. I asked them, "Do you know Walter football?" And they don't know what I'm talking about. I got my Walter football.
Well,
shirt up there.
it's more football than our football because you played a whole damn soccer game with your feet.
Yeah. Walter football.
In
should
the
come up
NFL,
with
you
some
just do it for
shirts that's-
kickoffs and extra points, and field goals.
Walter football. There should be a Walter football with an FUTBOL.
FUTBOL, yeah.
Maybe draw a following in Argentina and other parts of Europe.
Walt,
Yeah.
you got 4 years to create that site.
Yeah, unfortunately,
Yeah.
the international ads don't pay as well, so I don't think it'll be worth it. But
WalterFootball.com. Well, listen, if the USA team goes all the way to the finals, you get a lot. It might be a big draw here.
Yeah,
I don't
tell you
know.
what, I'll
that's the
sponsor
one they
the
play, I
Walter
think, at
football
MetLife.
shirts.
the
Yeah.
finals.
Yeah, that's true. It's at MetLife, and the tickets are going to cost more than it costs to go to Madison Square Garden for an NBA Finals game.
It's going to cost more than a new car.
Yeah. Well, anyway, I wanted to jump on, Walt, just to not to disrupt the conversation on win totals, but you had asked me a question before about Cardinals Survivor, Cardinals Titans. I know you're writing a 10,000-page book on the bad beats from last season.
I'm up to real quick. I am up to. I'll tell you right now. 22,689 words. I'm at week 5.
Oh boy,
I'm looking forward to reading that book over next summer.
it's going to be, well, by the time you get done, it's going to be like when I was growing up and you bought like a series of books. You got like one a month and you paid for it. So like you bought like an encyclopedia. It was
Yeah.
like 20 volumes and you paid it in 20 monthly installments or something. That's what your book is going to be.
Right.
My most recent book was 40,000 words, so it's not that bad yet. We'll see.
And what'd you
I
say
don't
you're
know.
at now?
22,500.
And that's
very
for
cool.
not even a third of a season.
Yeah, but I also wrote about various NBA bad beats from earlier in the year and a golf bad beat. So I wanted to build up to it.
Well, I wanted to give you my thought process going into the Cardinals because it was probably the most heavily picked team last year in Survivor that week.
Yeah.
Let me go back to the Survivor numbers.
I was there. I was with you.
So was I.
In that week, in week 5, and I have all the picks here written out from Survivor. Let's go to week 5. The Rams had 3,524 picks, and the Rams, that was a Thursday night game against the Niners in LA, and the Niners were starting Mac Jones, and the Cardinals were 3,152. So you had 30% and 25% of the population on those two teams. Now, if we look back to my power ratings in that particular week, well, let's start with the beginning of the season. I had the Cardinals last year to start the season as an absolute 0, right? Which is right smack. To me, they were number 18 starting the year.
So you use plus minus. So 0 is like if you start with a base of 100.
Exactly.
Okay.
So my 0, I generally go from -7 to +7, right?
Okay.
Thereabout. The really, really good teams will get up to maybe a +8 or a +9, and the really bad teams can get into the minus double digits if they're just not trying. So I had the Cardinals as an average team to start the year, and I think we all had the Titans in the bottom 5. Let's just call them bottom 5.
Yeah.
So my Titan number in that particular week, we remember the Cardinals. Their first 2 games of the season, they were up big against what we thought bad teams, and they blew both games. They blew both leads and held on by a hair.
Yeah,
right?
that
first one was
second
New Orleans
game was in my bad beats book.
What was that?
Right.
New Orleans and Carolina?
Yeah,
right.
Yep.
Yeah.
So in the first week of the season, they beat New Orleans. They held on at the very end. I maintained my number as a 0. By week 2, they played Carolina, who I thought was also a bad team. Once again, they controlled the game, but again, they were not good down the stretch. So I felt, okay, it's been 2 weeks of this. I had to lower the Carolina rating to a -0.5.
You mean the
Arizona rating? Yeah.
The Arizona
After
rating.
week 3, they lost to the Niners, and the Niners, I believe, were injured in that game. They had a bunch of injuries going on. It was Mac Jones, and Mac Jones barely beat the Cardinals in that game.
That was a 1-point win, wasn't it?
That was also my bad beats book, because that was the phantom safety that occurred.
Yes, yes. There's a phantom safety. The Cardinals were horrible. Murray was bad in that game, and that game told me that Carolina is not as good as I thought they were.
Arizona.
So now I had to make an adjustment. I went to -1.5 going into week 4.
Oh, you do it, but you do it in half-point
generally
segments.
Generally half points. By week 4, now they're playing Thursday night home against Seattle. Now in that game, they were down big. They were down by 2 touchdowns late. They showed promise. They got a touchdown late. Seattle missed a field goal.
Now, you were not all that enthusiastic on Seattle at that time.
It was not.
They were probably what, maybe a 2 or a 3?
Going into that game, that was week 4, I had Seattle as a +0.5.
Oh.
So
okay.
I was really nowhere near. I went from Seattle -3, -2.5, jumped to a 0.
That's interesting.
Every single week I added a half a point.
Because Seattle was coming off a season the year before where I think they were 9-8 or 10 I think they were 10-7 and missed the playoffs.
Yeah.
The year before.
Right. So I was not high on Seattle, and I was not high on Sam Darnold. But
that was Pete Carroll's last year.
Like I said, I started at a -3. I went to a -2.5, and then immediately jumped 2.5 points, which is massive. Right. Now they lost to the Niners in a game they probably should have won. They beat Pittsburgh in that weird game where Pittsburgh's a rookie kick returner had a ball go over his head. And then they crushed the Saints, who I didn't think were any good, so I wasn't overly impressed. But I did start bumping them up. Now,
you're talking Seattle now.
Seattle, yeah. So when Arizona played Seattle, and this game was in Arizona, Arizona's getting blown out. Okay, fine. Arizona's getting blown out, but they came back. So to their credit, they made the game competitive.
What they lose?
Lost, which obviously.
Oh, okay.
Let me just close this down. So obviously they lost the game, but I wasn't super quick to move Arizona that much down. So going into week 5, which was the Titans game, I had the Cardinals as a -2. So below average, right? Not slightly below average, but that's a below average team. Somewhere, let's call it low 20s maybe. But I had the Titans as a -9. Why did I have the Titans as a -9? Because I went from a -6
Look
to
at the
a
first 4
-9.
weeks.
I know, they're terrible.
By the way, where did you start Tennessee, given they were going with a rookie quarterback coming off a horrible season? The team coming off a horrible season.
Yeah, so Tennessee started for me at a -4.5, which was one of the worst teams. I had the Browns, Panthers worse than them. I had the Saints worse than them as well.
Okay.
So I had the Titans at -4.5, -4.5, -5, -6, -9. So I
Okay.
lowered them a lot going into that game. Why? So I'm looking at their schedule. They lost 20-12 at Denver in a game they actually had the ball with a chance to take the lead. They lost to the Rams 33-19 in a game that was, I think, close throughout the first half, and then the Rams pulled away.
Yeah.
They got blown away by the Colts, who had been playing great.
And that was at home.
And then they played Houston, and they lost 26-0. And that's when I said this team is garbage.
Wasn't that the game where it was like a 7-0 game and
It was like
Houston did all the
I think it was
scoring in the
9-0,
fourth quarter?
yeah.
9-0.
Yeah.
It was 6-0 at halftime.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was 6-0 going into the fourth quarter.
Right.
And then they got routed in the fourth quarter. But Cam Ward in the game was 10 for 26, 108 yards and a pick. Took 2 sacks. They had absolutely no offense whatsoever.
So in other words, it was like a 42-0 game that ended up 26-0.
It was 26-0, and they showed no life whatsoever. They had 3.8 yards per play. It just, to me at the time, they were one of the worst teams in the league. And I looked at Arizona, the rest of their schedule. And if you looked at Arizona, the rest of their schedule, let's see here. It was at Colts, Green Bay, Dallas on the road, Seattle on the road.
This was maybe the only winnable game you could see on their schedule.
At Tampa, Rams at home, at Houston, Atlanta, Cincinnati, and the Rams. And I said to myself, I want no part of Arizona in any one of those games. And I had used them twice already. I had gotten through with them in
what do you mean you'd use who? What you're talking about?
I
Betting
used
or Survivor
Arizona
now?
in week 1 in entry number 4. I had 4 entries at the time.
Okay.
I had 4 entries at the time. I had used the Cardinals in week 1 and week 2 and 2 other entries. So in the 2 entries where I had not used the Cardinals, I said this is a no-brainer. It's the Cardinals or nothing.
Okay, so use them in 2 entries, right?
I had used them in 2 out of my 4 entries on week 5, figuring I had already snuck them through twice. Yeah. And that was
you were able to succeed with a bad team on 2 of your entries. Teams that you might not normally use, a team that you might not normally use, and certainly based upon the schedule of the rest of the season, the only other possible team that you might have been able to use them if you lasted that long would be the home game in December against Atlanta.
Right. Which I want the no part of.
Yeah.
Right.
So for me, it's a no-brainer, no regrets. In that entry, well, in one of those entries, I had used Denver, who ended up being good, Baltimore as like a safe pick, Seattle, New England, and Arizona. So kind of funny how I used Denver, Seattle, and New England in 3 out of the first 4 weeks.
That's funny.
In that entry, in entry, that was my entry number 3. So, it's interesting how the season plays out, of course. But I have absolutely no regrets. I thought that was the perfect time to take Arizona. And given that the Rams had already lost on Thursday, and I had 4 entries, we were actually happy that the Cardinals lost for 2 reasons. Number one, when you have a chance to knock out like 80% of the field in 1 week, I'll take that every day of the week. I have 2 entries left. Let's go.
Yeah.
And number 2, I use my survivor as equity, as Andy knows very well.
Yeah.
I bet against my team often.
Which team was that?
I'll play during the game. I'll play against my pick in various ways. So in that game in particular, I ended up with a plus 1,500 Tennessee money line for $100 that paid $1,500. I also played Tennessee on the live spreads multiple times. I also played Tennessee on the live team total overs because in my head, if I have the equity in the survivor, I don't mind losing some of those bets to continue to get me through and build equity throughout the season. So almost every time where I'll lose a survivor, I'm probably making money. And even when I don't lose survivor, I'm still making money because I'm betting, like I said, team total overs and, live money lines that I can hedge, spreads, etc., that I can use in my entries. On that particular game, I remember I did very, very well.
I was going to say, when you get eliminated from Survivor, it costs you the $1,000 entry fee that you more than made up for with the way that you played the game during the game to end up being, getting like that plus 1,500 or whatever. You'd rather stay. You still had other entries alive. You'd still rather be ahead, but
no question.
So at some point,
the year that I finished and the year that I finished in 10th place and lost in week 16, I probably won about 60,000 in that season hedging. because I had won a bunch of my games in the weeks before. I'll tell you exactly. I remember, you don't remember this, but I had it was Jets Dolphins, and I was betting on Tua, and Tua was a 7.5 point favorite against the Jets, and that was a game where the Jets didn't cross midfield, and then Tua threw a pick six across his body, left side to the right, pick six to tie the game. They immediately scored, and they ended up winning by 7. I had the Jets in that game plus 7.5 for a big margin. The week after that, I think it was the week after that, I had the Eagles, and that was a game where Jalen Hurts ended up getting hurt, and I ended up with Minshew once again against the Jets. Find the common theme here. I generally go against the worst 2 or 3 teams. And I was playing the Jets in that game on the team total. And if you remember that game, you probably don't. But the Jets and Minshew scored a touchdown. The Jets came back and scored. Eagles scored a touchdown. I think that game was 21-21 early in the half. And I'm busy playing Jet team total overs the entire game. So I've done very, very well using my survivors as an equity position. The goal is to win Survivor. And it's probably the number one goal on my bucket list every single year. I mean, I have a bunch of goals. I mean, I have 4 children, as you guys know, and I have a career. But my number one
They're not in college yet, are they?
Yeah, no, not yet.
Yeah.
We're a year away. But we, every single year, you know, my wife laughs, like the number one goal on my family goals list is win Circus Survivor. So, and it's something that I want to win even more so than winning the money, is just to win and be in that position.
Yeah.
I mean, I spend so much time on this week in, week out. I love it. I love spending time on it. It's become a passion, just to make my grids and my methodology. But I knew, and Walter, when you asked me before, what was my logic in taking the Cardinals, I knew I had a really well thought out, even that early in the season. It's very, very meticulously calculated where I'm going and why with every single entry that I have.
My question would be, because I also played that game and I had similar but slightly different reasons, but I would be curious as to your reason for playing them on the road at New Orleans and then at home against Carolina in weeks 1 and 2.
Week 1, I used them once, and I had 5 entries last year. I used Denver twice against Tennessee because we wanted the quote unquote safe pick. Right. That was a game that was, I think, the largest spread on the board. Cincinnati, which we know loses every year week 1. My thought on Cincinnati was at some point Burrow was going to be hurt. I'd rather use them early. The Cardinals were 1 pick, and Jacksonville was the quote unquote risky pick. And if I go back to my spreads in that week, I'll tell you what I was thinking. This is week.
Well, no, the week 1, I was asking why you had played Arizona in week 1.
Played Arizona on the road. Yeah. Well, if I look through the spreads, I didn't want to take the opening game, Philly, and also I believe Philly was a team that I wanted to save for later on. Arizona was a 6.5 point favorite, and Denver was an 8.5 point favorite. Nobody else was. Well, Washington was a 6 point favorite against the Giants, but I actually liked the Giants in that game, which I lost. We took that game as a contest pick, and they got blown out. But I guess and then the Cincinnati was a road team against Cleveland, and that's obviously a tough spot to be in as far as and they actually won that game by 1, so they got lucky and won that game.
Another bad beat game.
Yeah, I remember that. So I ended up taking a couple of road picks. I'm not as strict anymore as I used to be about picking road teams. I used to just not even look at who's on the road, but nowadays Survivor is so hard, especially with the contest weeks in the holiday
split weeks.
But I figured, you know what? Week 1, I'm not so opposed to a team that I thought.
Well, you were going with a rookie head coach, and who was the quarterback back then?
It was not. It was Spencer Rattler.
Yeah,
who I thought was a disaster. I thought going into the season he was a disaster.
So when I look at these types of games, my overriding thing is when 2 bad teams face each other, one bad team is going to win. And because they're bad teams,
I didn't think Arizona was bad going into the season. I had them as an average team.
Oh, I had them below average, but when it came to the Tennessee game, I'm looking at it and I'm saying, look, they started 2-2. Yeah, they had leads, but they still managed to win. And then they stepped way up in class against San Francisco and Seattle, even with the backup quarterback for San Francisco. I mean, they're still a much better team when they're stepping up in class. And then Seattle was the game where you talked about they came back.
Right, but I also had New Orleans as the absolute worst team in the league. I had New Orleans -8 to start the season.
Yeah, well, I think their win total was the lowest or second lowest in the league.
Yeah.
So I had them as a -8, and I bumped them after that game to a -7. But I had them as a -8 or a -7 until week 7, and they probably that may be when they changed quarterbacks.
And so what I was looking at in the Tennessee was the only other time I thought I could consider playing. Remember, they were 2-2 at this time. Okay, regardless of how they got to those 2 wins, they were 2-2, and then, as I say, they played 2 better teams within their division at San Francisco and home to Seattle, and they didn't embarrass themselves, get blown out in those games. Now they're hosting Tennessee, and Tennessee had been getting blown out. Okay, and looking at the schedule, the only other team I could have seen them playing would have been in December hosting Atlanta, and who knows what those teams would look like then. So I said, Arizona had shown that, they gave up big leads, but they still managed to win at New Orleans and against Carolina. And then again, those 2 competitive efforts, that maybe this team, obviously it's too early to quit, but I did like the way that they played against San Francisco and Seattle, that this was a game, one of the very few games that they could win. And hey, if they win it, they're 3-2. They're still not going to win many more games. In fact, they'll obviously only won 1 more game. So I never feel totally comfortable or confident about any game because it's the NFL. But this one I thought was, I'm probably not going to play Arizona at any other time. But Tennessee has been just so bad that, for Tennessee to lose by 10 would be their best game of the season.
Right.
At that,
I thought it was a no-brainer. To me, it was a no-brainer pick.
Yeah.
And that's fine. And sometimes the downside of the no-brainer pick is that everybody's on it.
Yeah.
And sometimes you don't want to be on that pick because you want to be on the other side of possible upsets. I don't think that way at this early in the season. I thought about it the same way you just laid it out.
Yeah.
To me, it was the only time to take them. You got to get them through. If I can get bad teams out of the way in the first couple of weeks of the season, that's the time to do it, especially when you have multiple entries.
As I tell people,
once we saw how many people had it and they lost, it was like, all right, let's keep narrowing the field.
Well, because you had you still had 2 live entries. Yeah.
There's only 20,000 survivor entries this year.
I'm saying between 22, I'm going to say between 22.5 and 24,000.
Okay.
That's what they're going to have. But when I look at some of these teams, I do take a look at what I tell people especially when they're signing up for Survivor and they want a little history of what it's like. I say, keep in mind you can only use a team once, but that also means there are 12 teams you will not have to use during the contest. So take a look at those 12 teams that you may not use, and look for the spots to play against those teams. Now, obviously, there'll be some of those teams that, I got Pittsburgh playing against team A, B, and C because they're 3 of the teams I don't plan on using. But you adjust yourself as the season goes on. But yeah, there are sometimes I will look for teams to play against in certain weeks rather than teams to play on. I don't know if you do that at all, Evan, when you do your
I always look to play against
in
teams.
course.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm very often starting with what do I want to play against.
Yeah.
It's
in line with when I say
I don't care. I don't care to take the top teams. I don't mind taking number 20 if they're playing against number 30.
Yeah.
I would prefer that. I prefer that. Every day of the week I prefer that.
I tell people that, as I said before, when 2 bad teams meet, one bad team is going to win, and you shouldn't necessarily upgrade that bad team for winning. Just like when 2 really good teams meet, one really good team is going to lose, and I would caution against downgrading that really good team that lost.
Yeah, that's the anti-survivor game. Totally the opposite. Yeah. Exactly. Yep.
Yeah. I would like to see an
that's the tale. Game. Hopefully you'll get a couple of thousand words on that game because the what's his name, DeMarcado.
Yeah, he might be on the cover.
I think that's funny. He definitely needs to be on the cover, dropping the football.
Yep. He's going to be.
Actually, it's tough, Andy. What do you think is the worst? The more unlikely scenario? Was it DeMarcado dropping the football, or is it the Rams-Eagles game where there was Jordan Davis blocking a field goal, having it pop up right into his stomach, and then rumbling about 18 miles an hour, at the buzzer to win by 4 instead of 1?
I would say probably the Eagles game, simply because dropped passes happen a lot, unfortunately. But the way that the Rams won that game was so what was it? the Eagles won that game was so improbable that it took, first you had a block, then you had to have a guy in position to recover it, not fall down and get tackled, and be able to weave his way through the offense to score the special teams actually.
And the guy's 350 pounds.
Yeah.
The Eagles were down 26-7 in that game.
Yeah.
Jalen Hurts at halftime was 4 of 8 for 18 yards. The Eagles were never covering after the first quarter.
But the thing is, they didn't have to even cover at the end. They just had to block the kick.
Right.
Or let the kick miss. Or let the kick go in.
Exactly.
The odds of a blocked kick going into the guy's hands and returning for a touchdown that was totally meaningless
probably happens once every 5 to 10 seasons.
Right. Because at least the DeMarcado dropped the football. The game's not over. Right. The game theoretically would have been over.
Yeah.
What would it have made the score 28-6 instead of 21-6?
Right. But here's the thing. The week before, Adonai Mitchell dropped the ball before the end zone.
Yes.
Right. So that happens a couple times a season now.
But that's the thing. The coaches emphasized it, and the Gannon, the head coach of the Cardinals, he yelled at DeMarcado so much because he was he kind of made sure his players didn't do that, and then
then he apologized.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, this is ridiculous.
Yeah.
He got fined $200,000 for yelling, which it's this is like a little league game.
Exactly. I was about to say
what you ought to do when you put him on the cover is say the $3 million drop, because that's what was eliminated in Survivor.
Well, I'm going to have him dropping a rotten beat instead of a football before he gets to the goal line.
A beat,
a bad beat.
Yeah.
So that's my plan. I don't know. The over under for words, and that's 5,000.
You
so
should ask Scott Van Pelt or Stanford Steve to annotate some of the book for you.
Unfortunately, ESPN doesn't like me very much, so that's the problem.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah. Especially with the Matt Miller stuff that I came out with this week.
What was it? Why didn't they like you before?
Oh, they hated. They always hated me.
What was the genesis of that?
Well, I mean, for so many years. I mean, I'm not like a woke person, so you have to.
I mean, you've explained why Roger Goodell is not inviting you to any events. Where's ESPN?
Well, a long time ago, I published a quote list of Emmitt Smith when he was on TV. And that actually got a lot of steam, but he was one of their analysts, so they didn't like that. And then,
you criticized him?
I didn't even criticize him. I just quoted him. That's all I did. like you can't change the stripes of a leopard, stuff like that.
So in other words, quotes that made him look bad.
Yeah, I mean, he was ridiculous.
Or was it the fact that you didn't attribute it to his appearance on ESPN?
No, I just quoted him. I'm like, he said these words. Here's my top 10 Emmitt Smith quotes. I actually had like a list of 100, but I was like, here was my top.
Oh, was that in the book?
Favorites.
Was that from the book? You mean?
In my first book, it was a top 5 Emmitt Smith quote list. Yeah.
Okay.
But I had on my site, I had 100 Emmitt Smith quotes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
so ESPN has very thin skin, and it didn't even affect them. It affected the player, who probably could care less.
I don't know if he cared or not. Maybe he cried at night. I don't know. I have no idea.
I just believe those guys at ESPN are so sensitive. They probably carry 3 spare pair of underwear to the office each day because they may end up having accidents because they're so thin-skinned.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I've obviously criticized Mina Kimes, et cetera, like a lot of ESPN people. So, they're not fans of me, let's just say. So
maybe that's why they have the quality of the talent that they've been hiring lately is so bad, because all the good talent has spoken against them over the years.
Yeah, that's certainly the case. I mean,
or I should say good potential talent. They weren't with them at the time.
I mean, Matt Miller is working for them for crying out loud. Mina Kimes is one of their top NFL
I used to look forward to ESPN every night.
Yeah.
For years and years. I can't
every
stand
night.
it.
What about every morning at 6 o'clock in the morning?
Well, every morning too, but certainly at night when the scores were coming in to see the highlights. Although they replay it, well, they don't. They have a lot of live stuff now in the morning, but some of the stuff they do is, just, and it's not political or anything like that. It's just not up to the standards that they. The one thing that ESPN has always done fantastic is the 30 for 30.
Yeah, that's true.
I thought those were Emmy award-winning documentaries.
Yeah, I'm not even the documentary guy, but I mean, I recognize that that's good. So, all right. So, can I use your guys' quotes for the book?
Absolutely, I don't know
Okay.
exactly what I said, but sure, if you go play back.
Well,
And,
for the upcoming book, yeah.
Yeah, for that chapter. Yeah, I'm gonna quote Tom and you guys as to like why everyone had Arizona as survivor. So
Oh yeah.
okay.
It makes perfect sense. Well, look 3,000. The thing that was surprising that 3,000 people went with the Rams 49ers game on
Right.
Thursday
That's
night.
true. Yeah.
well, Andy, a lot of people like to take that Thursday night so that they can get out ahead of it and kind of sit pretty and sit back and relax
Yeah.
over the weekend. But again, wasting the Rams to me didn't make a lot of sense.
Wasting the
Yeah.
Rams and picking one game solely because not solely because you like the Rams, but solely because it's one game as opposed to the 15 other games that you could choose from on Sunday and maybe not have as competitively. Well, I don't remember what the line was. What, 6 or something on that on a 49er
it was
Ram
probably
game?
around
Seven and a
the
half. It was 7.5.
Yeah, but you could have a much more game that did not figure to be competitive because even I mean look 49ers still it was well there it shows that what was now the game was where was that in LA?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. It's 80% San Francisco fans in LA.
Oh yeah, well so I'm saying that was Mac Jones worth what 6 points
No,
or 4 points?
of course not.
Yeah.
That's where the line was.
I'm not a
but,
Mac Jones guy,
yeah.
but that's silly.
Right.
But no,
It's not
but
like
yeah,
Brady
but-
Cook was playing.
what's that? Oh,
It's not
Brady.
like
Yeah.
Brady. It's not like Brady Cook was playing.
No.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the way that I handicap baseball a lot. I look for pitchers to go against.
Yeah. Smart.
I look especially when they. I've always used the WHIP. Walks and hits per innings pitched, but I use more now. I look at home runs allowed, and also when you allow more hits than innings pitched.
Okay. So
When you allow hits, they do much more damages than when you issue walks.
So you're like a bear in the stock market almost. You just look for
Yeah,
companies to
in a
go
sense,
against.
yeah.
You look for pitchers to go against. I treat the NFL the same way. I try to go against teams that are terrible. Like Evan's talking about the Saints being the worst team. If you had faded the Saints in the first half of the season when Spencer Rattler played, you'd be 7-2 against the spread.
Yeah.
It's just phenomenal. I mean, that's great. So that's how I look at like teams that are in horrible situations, whether it's because of terrible quarterbacking or lots of injuries or like
Tennessee against Arizona. Although, well,
exactly.
you may have had a little higher opinion of them, but how could you not have a horrible opinion of Tennessee considering what they did in the first 4 games?
Yeah, and even the one close game they played, the 20-12 against Denver. They got outgained by a mile. They in that game they were outgained 317 to 133, and in yards per play it was 4.5 to 2.4. So even though it was close, like Denver still dominated the game. And I know the Tennessee
and Denver's not a dynamic offense to dominate.
Right, and it was just Denver making dumb mistakes over and over again.
Or that dominates.
Yeah, and plus we know Sean Payton's history in week 1, too.
Yeah.
Just
and
terrible.
You'll bring it up again this year, probably correctly.
Hey, well, yeah, he and Zach Taylor, the 2 worst guys in weeks 1
Well,
and 2.
Zach Taylor at least got a couple of wins last year, in I think the first 2 weeks, didn't he?
Yeah, he barely beat Cleveland.
But he won. Didn't cover.
But let me read you that yardage.
Okay.
The Bengals beat the Browns 17-16, but the Browns outgained the Bengals 327 to 141, and in yards per play 4.6 to 2.9. Who was
Cleveland's quarterback in that game?
Joe Flacco. I just watched the game for the bad beats because I had the Browns money line in that game. And they had 2 passes that were dropped by the receivers that popped into the hands of a Cincinnati defender.
Was that Jerry Jeudy who can't catch?
One was Jeudy and one was Tillman, I think. So they had 2 of those. And then they missed the chip shot field goal with a kicker only missed 3 field goals all year. That was like one of the misses he had, and he missed an extra point. So that was the difference in the game.
As to your Sean Payton, you see, have you memorized Denver's early season schedule?
I know
they play Kansas City week 1. But
week 1, they're at Kansas City.
Yeah.
Then they host Jacksonville. They host the Rams. They're at San Francisco. They're at the Chargers, and they're home against Seattle. That's their first 6 weeks. And guess who they finish? Yeah. Guess who they play next?
Kansas City.
Our lovable Arizona Cardinals at Arizona in what could be an 0-6 start.
It could be 0-6. It could be. Yeah, that's really rough. It's like probably 1-5, maybe 2-4. You know me. I'm not a big Denver guy, so.
Well, the home games are Jacksonville, the Rams. Well, look, the first 6 games
That's a rough.
are against
that's a
5
rough
teams from the
stretch.
playoffs from last year and a Kansas City team that
Yeah.
was not a 6-11 team.
That's
Yeah,
a
you're
rough-
gonna have
that's
Andy
a rough
Reid.
stretch.
You're gonna have Andy Reid preparing the whole summer for that game. Even
Yeah.
if it's Justin Fields, Reid's gonna have a great game plan for that game. So
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to the regression talk on some of these teams.
yeah, absolutely.
Anyway, I'm going to let you
I'm,
guys.
I'm
get back
guessing
to
one of
your win
the. I'm
totals.
guessing one of the teams that you're. If I had to pick one of those teams that you're looking at a regression, I would say probably Jacksonville.
I don't know yet.
Yeah, I like
I mean,
Jacksonville.
all I've done so far this offseason is really go through the draft and free agency.
Yeah.
I have not really dug into schedules from last year, regression spots from last year, where teams were lucky. Obviously, we know there were a lot of games where Jacksonville got very lucky, but towards the end of the season, I had come around towards Walt's side. I thought Jacksonville was a top 8 team.
Yeah.
I don't remember exactly where I had them, but I remember thinking earlier in the season there were a lot of games where they got lucky. That Chiefs game was a very lucky game.
That was the game that impressed me about Jacksonville.
Yeah,
the way
they should have lost
was
that game by
leadership in that
multiple.
game.
Remember in that game, Mahomes threw a 99-yard pick six on a bobble, and I think Kansas City had a pick that was dropped that would have really changed the game early, and I think that would have put the game like 21-0. And instead of being 21-0, it ended up being like 14-14. There were a couple of lucky spots for Jacksonville, but then they were playing much better as the season progressed.
Yeah.
Their defense was solid. Their offense was moving the ball. Lawrence was playing much, much better later in the season. I think
even in their first 4 weeks.
Who's the receiver they traded for?
Jacoby Myers. That was huge for them.
Yeah, for the Raiders. Yeah,
they finally had a receiver who can catch.
Yeah.
In the first 4 weeks, they beat Carolina at home, lost at Cincinnati by 4, but then they come home and they beat Houston and win at San Francisco. So they started to show some signs early.
Yeah. Yeah, but they really caught on fire late though. In that game in Denver, that was just a masterpiece by Lawrence. He just
3, 4, 5,
shredded Denver so easily.
I would say they came on late is an understatement. They won their final 8 games of the regular season.
Yeah.
Honestly, if they don't rush in the playoffs on that last drive, they probably drive the field and score.
I know.
Yeah.
It's a shame. I think they could go the distance.
I felt the winner of that game. It turned out not to be the case, but I felt that the winner between Buffalo and Jacksonville would play for the AFC Championship.
Yeah,
I ended the season with Jacksonville as the number 5 team in the league.
Yeah. Where'd you have Buffalo? Because they played each other.
Number 1.
Yeah, so they played a better team. You can't fault them for losing, but they could have won that game for sure. And then Buffalo could have beaten Denver, but Josh Allen threw that game away with a stupid play he had before halftime.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Plus
that's one reason why I
can't.
What?
I had Jacksonville starting the season as a -2.5. So I had them
this year.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I had them 23rd
one of the reasons
to start the season.
One of the reasons I can't play with confidence Detroit to win the Super Bowl is that in a 3 or 4 game stretch, Dan Campbell's sure to make a mistake.
It could happen, yeah. That's true.
He worries me. That's the one thing that keeps me from thinking Detroit will win a Super Bowl.
Yeah, well, maybe they'll
because he's stubborn. It's different mistakes, but he repeats those things all the time. It's like he has to prove to the world that he's smarter than everybody else. Hey, Dan, realize plays don't succeed 100% of the time. They don't succeed 90 or 80% of the time. You could be wrong, and you don't want to be wrong when the game is on the line.
Perhaps he's listening to you now, so he might learn something.
Well,
he'll
be motivated to win. Yes. No. I think he's a really good coach, but sometimes a little bit too good for the benefit of the team in a game where you play. It's so hard to win in the NFL. You can't give away chances by taking. I can understand to a certain extent going for 2 in certain situations because you can end the game there, or as time expires or the second to go, and you're 1 point behind, and it's a good team you're facing, and they don't appear tired on defense. Yeah, you may as well go for the win there because then you don't have to take the chance with overtime. I can understand that.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad he took those chances in the game I was at. NFC
the San Francisco game
a couple of years ago. I appreciate
that. I had the lines at 40-1. Yeah, I had the lines at 40-1 to win the Super Bowl. That was very, very upsetting.
Yeah.
Gentlemen, I apologize for taking 30 minutes out of your alternate win.
We loved it.
I look forward to seeing you in a couple of weeks in Las Vegas.
Couple of months, right?
Always a pleasure.
It's
Wait.
a
What,
couple of
weeks?
months, right? Or what's no?
Really
It's
not.
the
I
end
don't
of
know.
end
Isn't
of
it July
what was
already?
it? August 27th. August 27th. Yeah, today.
I'll be
August
in
27th,
Vegas
I think you
August
said.
25th to the 30th. I may
Yeah.
come also August 5th to the 7th.
For your
We'll
birthday?
see.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, that's right.
We'll see if I come for mine and Walter's birthday.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
That'd be fun.
Walter's coming. You're coming before your birthday.
Yeah, I'm coming
you telling
July 22nd. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a week before my birthday.
Okay. Nice.
So.
Yeah, should be fun. Looking forward to it. I'll be at the Tuscany. So.
Yep.
I look forward to seeing you both very soon. Enjoy the
I'm
rest
looking
of your
forward to the
show, and
Tuscany
we will
hot dogs.
We'll talk soon.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, sounds good, Evan.
Thanks,
Signing
Evan.
off.
It's
Have a good
always
night,
a
guys.
pleasure to have you join us.
All right.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye. Okay. We're 2 hours in. Do you want to just stick to the NFC today? Because we're only one division down. We're actually 5 teams down, the 27 to go. So,
well, considering the fact that for the most part we don't do any college football, right?
Right.
Okay. So we've still got plenty of time before.
Yeah.
What have we got? Training camps open roughly around the 23rd or 25th, something like that.
Yeah,
So
we
we've
have
got
a
a
lot.
good
Yeah, we have a
several
lot of
weeks.
time. Yeah.
Yeah. So we can do the NFC today. And we can do the AFC next
On the
week,
8th. Yeah.
which is on the 8th. And on the 15th, we can do the make or
Playoffs.
miss the playoffs and possibly even those individual player props.
Yeah. And the 22nd will be off because I'll be traveling to Vegas, and then.
That's right. Yeah.
Right. So, yeah, that's a good plan. Yeah, I don't
And the
think we can
29th,
squeeze
which
in
is my birthday, maybe we do the show. I do the show drunk.
That'd be fun. That's cool.
Depends for whom.
No, I think it'll be great. So anyway,
I'll spend the entire 2-3 hours talking up the Cleveland Browns or the Tennessee Titans or something.
yeah, we did have a comment as we were
Oh.
talking about that. Are there any positives to the Celtics with the Jalen Brown trade? That was shocking.
They got rid of a disgruntled player.
I know,
That's
but
always
it's
a positive.
You ever watch Seinfeld?
What's
Did you ever
that?
watch Seinfeld? Did you ever watch
All the
Seinfeld?
time. Yeah.
Do you remember that one? What's her name? I can't remember her name. She's a famous actress. Jerry was dating her, and like she's a pretty woman, but everyone thought she was a loser, and so
Yeah.
Jerry's like, is she a loser? You know, that's kind of reminds me of Jalen Brown, because like as someone from afar, I'm like, wow, this guy's awesome. He averaged what, like 26, 28 points per game.
Oh, no
last year?
question that he's a really, really good player.
Yeah.
But I don't know how good of a locker room presence he may have developed into, because there's been really
Yeah.
a lot of friction between him and management since the end of the regular season.
Yeah.
I don't think the Celtics gain all that much with Mitchell Robinson, because you can't keep him on offense in close games, because
Right.
he'll miss 3 out of every 4 or 4 out of every 5 free throw attempts.
Exactly. That's I feel like Seinfeld right now.
But
Or
I like getting who'd they get? Paul George, one of the guys.
Yeah, Paul George and 2 firsts. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which, aren't going to be as good with Brown there, but it's I don't know. I just thought it was weird. I felt like I'm Seinfeld. Like, is this Jalen Brown seems great, but is he really a loser? That's how I thought of it. Because
he's going to another team that is at least these days a perennial playoff contender, even though they don't get as much out of the team that they should. And I think Paul George is a good locker room guy with veteran experience. He's played on winning teams. I think that'll help the Celtics.
Well, Embiid.
I'm a Knicks fan, but
right. Embiid is the big question. He's always hurt. Like, you can't count on him. So anyway, let's get back to the NFC South. You said you liked Carolina over a little bit.
Yeah. What's the over 8.5 price again? Plus.
It's plus 210.
Plus
FanDuel,
210.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's one that I will take a look at. I'll see what I can get here at Circa.
Okay. All right. And the other team that we like is the Saints. Their over under is 7.5. So if you look at the over 8.5, it's plus 150 on DraftKings. On FanDuel, it is let's see, it's worse. So stick with DraftKings. Plus 150, 8.5, and 9.5 is plus 260. I don't know. 10.
Okay.
10
Well, I'm sorry.
wins,
What's the 8.5?
plus 150.
I might consider that one. I don't know that I would consider.
Yeah.
Yeah, let me go back and see what we had on that one.
I'm like
Um,
I'm 50-50 on considering it. I'm not sure if I'll do it.
Let me see what we had there. New Orleans, I had 11 and you had 9.
You're right. Okay, that
And the
makes
more
sense
I
why you
think
would consider
about
it.
it, what's that?
That makes sense why you would consider it. So I mean, if you have them
Yeah.
11 wins, would you?
Yeah,
do
but
the
but I
plus
don't
50?
know that I would consider them over 9.5.
Okay.
Because again, there's really no pathetic team in that division. There's no 4-win or 5-win team, I think, in that division.
Well, we had Atlanta with 4 wins, didn't we?
Yeah, we each had 4.5.
Yeah. Isn't it, I mean, aren't they pathetic? I don't
It
know.
is, well, yeah, but they're pathetic because they never achieve their full potential. But I think they have a lot of positive changes for this year.
Okay. All right.
You know,
So
they got one of the league's best player with Bijan.
right. Yeah.
Tight end is yet to fully come around.
Yeah.
They've got some good receivers. We don't know what Tua will do, but I mean, look, Tua has capabilities. It's just a question whether, and again, I think they have a coach who can get the best out of him, whatever that is.
Yeah. Tua's capabilities against suffering concussions.
Yeah.
That's.
Well, they could probably work on something with that.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like that's his like prominent trait at this point. It's like he hasn't been the same. Anyway, so you like the Saints over 8.5 a little bit. I'm not sure if I'd play it.
Well,
but,
at plus 150, because I can see this team, this division, performing, better. Where what do you have? 8-9, 8-9, 8-9, 6-11, and 6-11 is the team we're just talking about with 8.5. So they're almost like. Where do you have them in your sluies? I think you said you have them tied with Detroit. I think you said
they're tied with Detroit for the easiest schedule in the NFL.
Yeah.
So if this were like plus 180, 190, I think I would do it. At 150, I'm not crazy about it.
Yeah.
But I still would consider it right now, maybe.
Yeah.
So, all right. So Tampa, I think we're about even on. I don't think we need to talk about them. I think we're like
what's their total?
8.5.
Yeah, and I had them at 7. You had them at 8.
Yeah, so I don't think that's worth considering. And then Atlanta. So we both have them at 4.5. So maybe we can look at the under there.
What's Tampa Bay's pick'em total?
Tampa's.
I mean Atlanta.
Atlanta. Okay. Atlanta's is 6.5.
And where's the VIG?
Minus 115, minus 105.
Yeah.
Okay.
See, I still think that there's talent on that team, and because of that, I find it hard. And again, they are playing in a division that is very even. And as much as we like New Orleans, they still have to go out and prove it. As much as I like Carolina, they still have to prove it because, hey, they only won 8 games last year. Okay. And the same thing. Well, Tampa Bay is the most proven entity in that division.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay.
Yeah.
They fell back a little bit last year, but let me see. What did Tampa Bay have the previous few years as far as
well, they won the division for many years.
Yeah, but I don't know how many wins they had. Let me take a look at that. Tampa Bay had 8 last year, 10 the year before, 9 the year before, 8 the year before, 13 the year before.
Yeah, that was Brady, obviously. So,
Brady and Arians, yeah.
So, it feels like 8 wins should be right, So, yeah.
For Tampa Bay.
Yeah.
What did I say we had on those? We had
7.5.
I had 7. You had 8.
Okay, yeah.
And their total is 6.5. Oh no, I'm sorry. We're talking Atlanta now. Yeah, we each had 4.5 on those.
4.5. So Atlanta's under 5.5 is plus 170. Actually, FanDuel's is better. Sorry. Atlanta's under 5.5 is plus 220. So any
5.5.
Under 5.5 is plus 220. Yeah. Any consideration there?
Well, I'm going back and taking a look at their performances in what's been a mediocre division for a number of years, back to 2021. Wins 7, 7, 7, 8, and 9.
Yeah.
So I'm reluctant, especially with a huge coaching upgrade, to think that they can't win at least 7 games, but I don't want to bet on it.
Okay.
I certainly don't want to. I don't want to bet under because they have shown that at least the last 5 years, and I don't know how far back it goes, they could win at least 7 games each year. As often as I.
Yeah, I think you're right. even though I have him at 4.5, it's just like
Yeah, me too. Because I think if I remember,
yeah.
I think I had a lot of toss-up games in there.
Yeah, they play the NFC South teams 6 times in total.
Yeah.
So they theoretically could be wins. Like they could be like 4-2 in the division, and suddenly they only need 2 more wins. And
Yeah.
I know they play the Browns without Garrett now. They
Yeah.
play the Steelers, who I'm down on. So it seems very doable for them to get 6.
Steelers, I think, were another team that won a lot of close games last year.
Yeah,
if I remember.
Yeah, and we differed on that one more than any team in the league,
Yeah.
I think. Yeah, so that'll be interesting to talk about next week. Although the on the thumbnail I do have Joe Burrow there, so I think we should do NFC and Cincinnati, but then we can touch Cincinnati next week. But just to make sure there's no.
Okay.
Yeah, just to make sure there's no like false advertising there.
Wait, say that again now.
Just to make sure there's no false advertising.
About what?
Because on the thumbnail of this video, I have Jared Goff, Bijan Robinson, and Joe Burrow. So I just wanted to. I think we should do Cincinnati also in addition to the NFC teams. But we could touch on that. We can wait
a minute. We have hit the 6.5.
6.5. It's over
because the picture is frozen, so I need to make a USB adjustment.
Yep. Congrats to those who bet the over. Good job.
And by having and I was going to say even having Evan on did not impact it. There we go.
Yeah, your camera stayed on the whole time Evan was there. Maybe that's the secret sauce.
And now it can't stay on for 2 seconds. Let's try it again.
Yep. There
1,
we go.
2, 3. We're already ahead. Okay.
All right, there we go.
So what would you say? The blurb said what? We want to do Cincinnati tonight?
The thumbnail has Joe Burrow on it, so I feel like we should at least
for tonight's show.
Yeah, I feel like we should at least talk about Cincinnati. Okay. Anyway, okay, so
so I'm going to pass on Atlanta.
Yeah, I probably will too, unless there's a crazy number or something.
Well, unless you find out that Penix is going to be the starter, and you don't. Or maybe I don't know. Maybe you prefer Tua to be the starter if you like the under.
Yeah, I was about to say I don't know. I feel like I know what we're getting with Tua. Just horrible play because his brain is fried. At least Penix can.
What's Atlanta's offensive line compared to last year?
Well, they lost. Well, I'll say they lost their All-Pro right tackle, but he retired, but they didn't have him last year anyway.
Right.
So that's kind of status quo. Their left tackle, Jake Matthews, has been really good for a long time. He's now in his mid-30s. He's getting a year older, as everyone does, but he's approaching kind of like the regression stage of his career. So at any season he could fall off, and he just turned 34 this offseason. So maybe he falls off, but outside of that,
I just can't say. In other words, are they significantly better or worse than last year, or pretty much somewhere in that middle range?
It's the same.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. We had a question from Make the Raiders Great Again. Over for the Raiders 5.5. He likes. Now
is that for 2026 or 2026 and 27 combined?
I take it.
Where do the Raiders rate in your schedule?
Okay. Schedule wise.
It can't be. It can't be that easy of a schedule. Although, again, remember the schedule. Well, you're using this. This is based on your power numbers.
Yes.
Where do you have Kansas City for the purposes of your schedule determination? Where do you have them rated as far as your classification for them based upon what's in the schedule difficulty that you prepare?
You mean where I have them in my power rankings? Is that what you're asking?
Yeah. In other words, they're not a 6-11 team.
No,
but
I have them. I have them as an average football team, like group.
Okay.
C. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have them as an above-average team, but as long as you don't have them as like a 6-11 team, you have them a C or a B?
A C, a high C. They're right at the top of C.
Yeah. See, I would put them in a B simply because of the history and Mahomes and all that, and all the tough games that they lost last year that they won the year before.
Yeah.
Now, the reason I say that is the Raiders can't have as easy a schedule as you might think, because Kansas City was the outlier last year that held their overall schedule strength down for this year.
Well, even considering the Chiefs being a C, I have the Raiders as having tied for the 5th toughest schedule in the NFL.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. Okay, yeah.
Yeah. So it's the schedule is the problem for the Raiders. Like I went over the schedule, and because this guy asked the question, like, well, let's look at it real quick.
All right, let me go. 'Cause I know what we had before, but I'm going to take a look at it now.
The Raiders schedule. I'll read it off. So first week easy against the Dolphins. But then
that's
then
a win.
They have, right, but then they have at Chargers.
I would say that's a loss.
At Saints in the Superdome, which is tough to play.
I would say, well, although the Raiders have played well on the road the last few years, especially early in the season.
Sure, but I would
they had that game in Baltimore 2 years ago. They had the opener at New England last year.
Yeah. I would.
And
say
I can't put New Orleans in the class of a Baltimore or a New England.
I agree, but I think I think the Saints are still favoring that game. I still think they win that game.
Well, yeah, the fact that they're favorite doesn't mean they're going to win.
Okay, but I think they're going to win the game either way.
Okay.
So 1 and 2, and then they have the Chiefs at home. I'd
say that's a loss.
Yeah, 1 and 3 at the Patriots.
Loss.
1 and 4 versus the Bills.
Loss.
So 1 and 5 versus the Rams at home.
Loss.
So we're already at 1 and 6.
Yeah.
And then at the Jets. What do you think about that one?
I think they can win that one.
I think they
Mendoza will have had about half a season.
Yeah,
the new coaching staff. Kubiak will have, been able to tinker a little bit. It is a tough schedule because if you want to do that way, yeah. So I say Cleveland could be a win.
Yeah, but okay. So real fast,
Tennessee and Arizona. It may come down to the Tennessee-Arizona games at the end of the year.
Yeah, let's skip ahead. So okay, so let's just say they beat the Jets. Actually, this could be Mendoza's first game. At San Francisco, probably a loss. That's we're at 2-7 versus Seattle at home. Looks like 2-8.
Forget about the number of losses. Just talk about the wins because that's all we care about.
All right, fine. Yeah. At Cleveland, sure. So okay, so Denver, no. At Cleveland, I would with no Myles Garrett, sure.
I'm going to say that's a yes.
Okay, that's 3. And then they have Chargers and Broncos, probably both losses.
Right.
And then Tennessee at home. That's decent chance.
I'll say that's a win. I'll say the Arizona game is a
win.
Probably a win. I think just based on the quarterbacks.
Okay, so that's 5.
Yeah,
that's 5. And so
5.5 is a reasonable number. I'm not sure. Well, the problem I have again, and we're coming up with wins, but we're also not factoring in the injuries that could affect the Raiders. Obviously, if Justin Herbert goes down in training camp, that changes the entire complexion. 2 games for the Raiders, 16 games, 17 games for the Chargers.
Yeah.
So it can't really factor in opponents' injuries as much.
So you're saying with the offensive line getting some actual coaching, Genty Bowers and some decent pieces, don't see them losing all division games, but appreciate the acknowledgement. Yeah. Well, thanks for commenting. But you mentioned Genty Bowers and like what else do they have? Do you count Mayer? Like I don't really.
Well, huge upgrade at center, which
has
a lot to do with the play of the offensive line.
Right. He mentioned offensive line earlier, and so I mean. Linderbaum's awesome getting that, and then Miller back from injury. But the rest of the offensive line, excluding Miller and Linderbaum, I have a serious question mark.
Well, that's where Kubiak and the offensive coordinator are going to have to come into play to do something that they couldn't do last year, which was not disguise, but basically make less vulnerable the offensive line issues. Whether it be formations, play calling, things like that. I would think they have a better chance of doing that this year with the talent that they have.
Yeah, and
we don't know about Mendoza,
right?
But I'm optimistic about him.
Yeah, me too. So anyway, the receivers are a huge question mark defense as well.
No, but you pointed it out. It's that schedule. It's
the
tough
schedule. Exactly. Right.
Well, because they play the 6 games against their division.
Right.
Oh, here we go again.
So anyway, he's saying he doesn't seem losing all the division games, which is probably true. They're probably not going to go 0-6, but we're saying that they're going to be underdogs.
Can they go 2-4?
It seems like 1-5 is probably the most likely.
That's a realistic one, barring something unusual. Like for example, Kansas City continues to decline.
Yeah,
I
or
don't
Denver.
expect that.
Yeah. That we're not. I'm not a fan of Denver. I'm not a fan of Denver. So they could.
Well,
They
you
might
don't
be
like
able to.
you don't like their defense,
I like their
or you
defense.
you think the defense is overrated.
I think it's overrated. I still like it.
Yeah.
I think they're a good defense. I just don't think they're a
Yeah.
great defense.
Yeah,
Anyway,
I just because I'm going to be at that Kansas City game in October
Okay.
4. I'm looking
That's
forward
awesome.
to it.
yeah. So anyway,
I'd love to see them 3-0 at that point, but
yeah. So anyway,
I'll probably have to put the 3-0 up in the mirror where it appears 0-3. But
right.
but no, I would like to see them do well. But it's hard, Well, again, let me go back and take a look again. I like to take a look just to get some sense of how they've been the last few years. So hold on a second.
Okay. Well, while you look at that, make the Raiders great again. It really is the schedule. Like, they have the 5th toughest schedule in the NFL. Just think about the Patriots last year. Like, heading into the season, I had them as the 2nd easiest schedule in the NFL, and they racked up a lot of wins. Like, if you told me the Raiders had the 2nd easiest schedule in the NFL, like over 5.5 would be a no-brainer.
Yeah.
But like, because we have them at 5 wins.
They've got the 6 games against their division opponents, and you have to acknowledge they're the 4th best team in that division. They're the worst team in the division right now. Okay, they got 4 games against the NFC West, so the only one there that they could beat is Arizona. You would think, barring something unusual. So that's already 10 of their 17 games. Okay, they play the AFC. Where do they play? The AFC East. So let's say they can go 2-2. They can beat Miami. They can beat the Jets, but they can't beat Buffalo and can't beat New England. Okay,
Right.
so that's 14 of their 17. And then their other games are the games against the Saints, Cleveland, and Tennessee.
Tennessee, yeah.
I think it's Tennessee.
Yeah, it was Tennessee.
Yeah, because their common division is the AFC East.
Yeah, right.
So maybe, it basically, I think it comes down to winning at least 1, possibly 2 division games.
Yeah, I think that's true. Yeah.
And it's 50-50 to make a case for the 1 win.
Yeah, and I'm not like saying under 5.5 is a great bet.
I couldn't do that. But let me see. Last year, 0-1 in the division.
Yeah.
0-2 in the division. 0-3 in the division. 0-4 in the division.
They beat the Chiefs at the end. They beat the
Chiefs at the end of the game where everybody was rested. Well, no, it didn't matter because Kansas City wasn't going anywhere.
Yeah, the Chiefs put all their effort into that Denver game, Week 17. They did not show up for the Raiders.
Yeah, they won 14. Raiders won 14-12. So it may very well come down to, now, of course, they only won 3 games, but that's being swept in the division. But yeah, the schedule this year is much tougher, I would say, than the schedule last year, where their NFC division was the NFC East. Philly, Washington, Dallas, and the Giants. They played Chicago last year. They played.
They should have won that game. That was ridiculous that they lost that game.
They played.
I just watched it yesterday or 2 days ago. It was horrible.
They played Cleveland last year, which they lost 24-10. That was a winnable game. And they played not Houston. Who was it? Cleveland. What I say, Cleveland.
They played Jacksonville at home and they lost in overtime.
Yeah, but they played the AFC South last year.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, New England. They played, and that's the game they won. Yeah,
I know.
They won.
They won.
Yeah, they won New England, Tennessee, and then the Kansas City game at the end of the year. Those were their 3 wins. So, it's hard when you play. When your division sends, 2 of the 3, the Chiefs were the exception there. 2 teams to the playoffs. When you send, when you have to play the NFC West. Fortunately, they play them only 4 games. Because you had the 12-win Rams and 49ers and the 14-win Seahawks rather.
Mm-hmm.
So it's tough to come up with 6 wins there, but Okay, makes sense. As like, yeah, I think they are on. I think they will be improved this year.
Yeah.
And again, hey, let's say they go 5-12. That's a 2-game improvement. Considering the schedule they're playing, that's improvement.
Yeah, oh yeah. I think with the
Uh-huh.
schedule, 5 wins would be good. I mean, and this is the first time in a while the Raiders have hope. And
Yeah.
if you're looking long term, 2028 is looking pretty good because you're going to be playing against the NFC South. And as I keep pointing out, every
last
I'm
2
serious,
years.
serious. Well, I'm serious. So like every team that goes to the Super Bowl is playing the NFC South. The Patriots.
Well, that's just the
played
last 2 years, right?
I know, but this is how bad they've been. Like
It's all 4
recently.
teams.
I know, yeah.
Yeah.
It's all 4 teams have played the NFC South of the
4 teams in
last
separate
2 Super Bowls.
divisions.
Right. Yeah, Eagles and Chiefs, and then Patriots and Seahawks all played the NFC South in 2020.
Well, that's right. They
the
played
Raiders
them last year, and one of the Raiders' wins was the Tennessee game.
Yep.
Last year, yeah.
Well, yeah.
No, I think that they are an improving team, but it's really tough against that schedule. Barring injuries to some of the opponents. I mean, if I take a look, I mean, can I see them beating the Chargers twice with a healthy Herbert? Because they still have a good defense, the Chargers.
Yeah, they were
Can I
number
see
2
them?
last year.
Can I see them beating the Chiefs with a healthy Mahomes, who we can assume will be healthy for that October 4th game, Game 4?
Yeah.
And can we assume them beating Denver? Or I could see them beating Denver.
I think they could split with Denver. Yeah.
I think they could split with Denver.
Yeah. I just think that I think
Crosby could harass.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and they got Kwity Paye to pair with Crosby. I think that's pretty good. And Bo Nix may not be 100% off the ankle. Yeah. I think I really think for this year you might be rooting for very competitive games but lose so you can get Jeremiah Smith because you really need a receiver. And just imagine Mendoza panning out with Jeremiah Smith. That'd be
well, I remember last year, if I recall correctly, and let me get the schedule out again. I remember looking at their schedule, and a lot of Raider fans, including a number of people I do radio with out here, love the Raiders every year. And they thought that I think last year their win total was 6.5 or something. Taking a look at the schedule, and I felt last year going into the season, and this is before I took a look at what the Westgate had for their 18 weeks, which hopefully they'll have again within a few weeks. I seem to recall the only game that I thought the Raiders would be favored in would be the Tennessee game at home, which they won, and possibly the Cleveland game at home, which they lost.
Mm-hmm.
And it would have been a stretch for me to think they would have been favored over the Giants, who I also expected to be, and they lost that one badly. 34-10. So everyone was saying, 6-7 wins for this team. I'm saying, where are they going to get 4 or 5?
Yeah,
because the only games that I saw there was Tennessee, Cleveland, and the Giants.
Well, I mean, Mina Kimes is saying 10 wins for the top 10 quarterback.
Yeah, because we thought Geno Smith was going to play 20 games.
Yeah. Exactly. All right. So
she had the Jets considered a college team where they play 13 or 14.
Right. Yeah. You were talking about earlier with the players being able to rip off lots of yards and get it all.
Yeah.
Maybe she thought they could rip off lots of wins in the same week and win them all.
No, I think they were playing with a handicap. In other words, every time that the Jets came within 4 points, they get a win, in addition to the game that they win or that they lose by 4 points or less.
Well, Geno may not even play this year because he has the domestic violence stuff.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, so
you may get your wish.
I know. I'm so excited. It's gonna be Klubnik to start potentially, and that's one injury away from Brady Cook, the chef.
Now I wonder if the Jets, if it comes to Geno Smith having those issues, and let's say he's suspended, I wonder if the Jets try to go into the CBS studios in New York and say, "Hey, Russell, come play for us."
Maybe. I don't know. Maybe they call Phil Rivers. Who knows?
Yeah.
I mean, we joke about it, but what are their options really? I don't know.
What did they do? Did they start his Hall of Fame clock over?
Yeah, they have to. Yeah, it's a shame, but I don't know.
I wonder if somebody's in the Hall of Fame and comes out and plays.
I know, right? Well,
we've never. You know who? Well, I don't know if he could make it, but who might be able to. How about Andrew Luck? He retired very young.
I know. Well, he didn't make the Hall of Fame, but like,
No, but I'm saying he might make the Hall of Fame. I don't know how old he is now. What's he, maybe 30, 32?
he was 2012. He came out in the draft, so he'd
Yeah.
be about
So
36,
let's
maybe
say, so he'd be in his
or
mid
35,
30s. Yeah.
35 or so.
Mid-30s.
Yeah.
I don't know that he played long enough to really deserve, certainly not first ballot Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Okay. But
Yeah.
I'd be interested, to see. But
It would be funny if a quarterback was in, let's just say, like, hypothetically, Rivers got in the Hall of Fame, and then he came out and played. And like, what
Yeah.
if he led the Colts to the Super Bowl, and then he won the Super Bowl again, and had like a Hall of Fame career after the Hall of Fame career? Like, would he be in twice?
he gets 2 busts. Yeah.
Right. That'd be awesome.
Actually, how many years has Arnold been out for the Rams? 2 years?
Aaron Donald, yeah.
Aaron Donald, yeah.
This would be year 2.
Oh, okay, so he retired after the 24 season.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean, he was right. He's talking.
I wonder if FanDuel or DraftKings has a prop on will he suit up for a game this year with the Rams?
I think FanDuel has. They have a section just for the Rams. Yeah, Rams specials.
Okay.
I'd
I'd be curious what the price is on that.
I'm not seeing it. They probably, I don't know if they'll have it just because.
You just got Myles Garrett. I saw something there.
Yeah, it's just
For
Myles
prop
Garrett
on
and
him.
Stafford and Nakua. I think it's just because
okay.
like it might be inside information, so they won't have it. But Kalshi might have it.
Well, how
actually.
much what are the limits on some of these bets?
It depends on which one. Let me see.
Pick out anyone on the Rams or something.
I don't know. Here we go. Aaron Donald to play a football game this season. Here we go. He is Kalshi's minus 137. It's actually a favorite.
So it's a fair. Okay.
Yeah, that's pretty.
Well,
cool.
now the see here comes my asshole mentality again. How do you define to play? Does he have to be in for one snap? Does he just have to be on the active roster?
It says
play
usually.
means play, so
There it
I
is.
have to believe. Okay.
Here it is. It resolves yes if Aaron Donald competes in a pro football game, including preseason, regular season, and playoffs in the 2026-2027 season. In order for the market to resolve yes, Aaron Donald must record at least one snap in a pro football game, including the preseason during the 2026-2027 season and playoffs too. So you could if he just plays one snap in the playoffs, you'd win.
In the preseason even.
And preseason, yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Let me go out here and get in shape, see if I feel like I can get into game condition by the start of the opening season, by the opening of the season. and then he retires.
Yeah. If he just he
retires right after that one play. He walks off the field. He walks off the field. Off comes the helmet while he's going to the sideline. Off comes the shoulder pads and everything, and he walks right into the locker room.
Yeah,
and out the door.
Yeah. But unfortunately, the max. Bet
what did I hear? Somebody today bet 7. Did I hear 7.2 million on Senegal winning today?
Really? Did they win?
I thought I heard that somewhere on it was Polymarket or one of those. No, they were up 2-0, and I think it was against England, and England scored like 2 goals in the last 3 minutes and 1 in the extra time.
Well, hopefully he hedged. But the
by the way,
the max bet on this.
But by the way, if I'm and you're gonna hear more about this in coming years, and certainly in the World Cup. And we already, if you're betting 7.2 million on something like that, okay, wouldn't it be worth your while to pay the goalie of the team that you're betting against one of the 7.2 million to just sort of like let in a goal or something, make a good effort, but stop? I have to believe.
Well, it depends how much they're making.
You know what? What's that?
It depends how much they're making.
I don't know.
Like, what's their salary? Like if they're making like $5 million a year, then why would they risk it?
It's easy money.
Yeah.
I'd like to see a wager. I don't know that they could do it here, but for the World Cup, will there be any wagering scandals coming out of the World Cup?
I don't know if they'll have that. But the max bet on this Aaron Donald is $3,441.
That's a decent amount.
Yeah, but then the slippage makes it minus 720. So it's
Say
not
that again.
great.
What's
The slip because you're not betting with the sports book, you're betting against
Right.
other people, and because you're gonna have so much money on this, that the line shifts to minus 720. But if you go to like $344,
at what point does it shift to minus 720?
well, it shifts to minus 251 at $800. At 500, it's
Okay.
minus 176. You can play around with this. 1200
Okay.
turns into minus 341, etc. But you get paid 3.25% interest on this, so that's nice. Anyway,
No, because I'm saying that Aaron Donald can make a bet on himself for that very reason.
Right.
Or someone on his behalf.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, let's hope he's not hurting for money.
No, he's
to
not.
make $3,000 just for that. Doesn't seem worth it. I don't know. Anyway, let's.
And it wouldn't even be the 3,000, right?
Yeah, he makes $700.
Yeah.
You imagine just being in that bad situation? Like, oh, I really got to get in shape for $700.
Yeah.
Anyway, we have two more divisions to talk about. Let me jump back to the sports book. What do you mean? Wow, what's wow?
No, I'm surprised we still have two more divisions.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Okay.
It's
well, two are yeah, we just did the North and the South.
North and South, yeah. Okay. East divisions. The Dallas Cowboys, their total is 9.5. So I mean, you like them to win the Super Bowl.
What's the big on the 9.5?
Plus 115.
On the over?
Yeah.
And the under?
It's minus 140.
140. Is that the closest to pick them?
Yeah.
Okay. What's 10.5? No, I'm sorry. What's 8? What's 8.5?
8.5 is minus over is minus 160 here, and here it's
so that's a 75 cent swing.
Sorry,
okay.
sorry, it's minus 150. Minus 150.
35. And what's the under?
Plus 125.
So that's 75 versus a 55. Yeah, so 9.5, close to 10. I guess.
So this is basically a 9. Yeah. So the over 10.5 is plus 200. So if they go 11-6 or better, you win. You get 2-1 odds there. Do you have any interest in that? I mean, you like them to win the Super Bowl.
Well, at plus 115, I'm going to play them over the 9.5. Of course, to win the Super Bowl, you could also qualify as a wild card.
Right.
So, and it could be, we want to see how the defense comes around. It may not be, right off the start.
Right.
Okay. And what did we say? 10.5 is plus 200.
11.5, by the way, plus 370 if you're interested.
Well, when I consider that with a largely similar cast of characters on offense over the past 5 years, the Cowboys going back to 2021, 12 wins, 12 wins, 12 ones under your favorite Coach McCarthy.
Yep.
Then it dropped to 7, and then it was 7 last year with a tie, with no defense whatsoever. So I'm definitely playing the over the 8.5. Over the 9.5, likely the 10.5. Let me go back and see what I had them at. I may have had them at 11 wins. I had them at 11.5 wins.
Okay.
You had them at 10.
Yep.
Okay. What'd you say the 11.5 is?
Plus 370.
Hold on a second here.
I mean, if you think they're going to go back to 12-5, it's not bad.
Well, that's what I'm thinking about, because I am thinking that I'm sorry, plus
370.
370. What I might do is I might break it up and do half a unit on the over 10.5 and half a unit on the over 11.5.
Okay.
Because even if they go 10-7, I make $15 per 100.
Yeah. It's not bad.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay, you like that? I personally wouldn't go with it just because I'm not as high on Dallas, but I could definitely. I mean, if you like
Okay,
Dallas a lot,
you wouldn't
then,
even go over the 9.5. You're saying?
no, I don't think so.
What did I say? You had him at 10?
10, yeah. So it's right on the number, basically.
Yeah, right on the number. Yeah.
Yep. Okay. Well, yeah. I
Let me
mean,
see
if you
where I
like
have
that, if you like Dallas like Andy does, then yeah, you should definitely consider
Yeah.
these. Okay.
Well, the 11.5 goes back and says they accomplished it for 3 straight seasons with Dak at quarterback. I think it was injured maybe for part of that time. They still had C.D. Lamb and a couple of the other players.
Mhm.
Defense was better back then. That was
Yeah.
really the fall off the last couple of years. And of course, they don't have Parsons, but
Yeah, that's a big one.
it's a big one. And yet they still managed to win 7 games last year without him at all.
hmm
And again, it also caused how far before the start of the season did Parsons get traded?
I think it was in August.
Was preseason underway? Games?
I think so. Yeah. Yeah.
So they had very, very little time to adjust early in the season.
Yeah.
Although let me see what Dallas did. They had that crazy game that they won against the Giants, the one that NFL Network plays, and I try to watch it all the time because that was just a
Week
fun
2.
game.
Yeah, week
It's
2.
just one of the. I mean, I think the two most entertaining. I mean, there were a lot of entertaining games last year, but you had the Baltimore Buffalo game in week 1, and I think you had the Dallas Giants game in week 2.
Yep.
Yeah, the Cowboys started 1, 2, and 1, and the. Yeah, well, it's hard to say what would have happened in Philadelphia because weren't the Eagles leading at time when they had that lightning thing?
Yeah, and then no one scored after the delay.
Dallas was what's that? Dallas
no
was
one
leading,
scored.
I think.
No one scored
it?
after the delay.
Nobody. Oh, that's right. Okay, so it was
Yeah,
24-20 at halftime. Okay.
Yeah.
Then they gave up the 37, the 31, the 40. Then they won the Jets. They gave up 22. They gave up 22 a few weeks later. They gave up 33 at the Raiders. But they gave up 34 or more in 4 of their last 5 games, including 3 in which they gave up exactly 34.
Mm-hmm.
That's how bad their defense was.
It was awful. Yeah. And it's
So
better
let me
now.
see what they did. Yeah. Well, let me see last year also, because this is another factor that I remember mentioning somewhere, that the Cowboys last year, let me see where their team numbers were. They averaged, 30, where is it? 27.7 points per game, 7th in the NFL, 4th in the NFC, and they allowed 30.1, which was last in the NFL, last in the NFC. So if they can improve by 6 points per game defensively, and instead of being outscored by 3 points, they outscore the opponents by an average of 3 points, those 7 wins could easily become 10 or 11.
Yeah. That's definitely true.
9 of those losses become wins.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that's, so from giving up 31 to 24 or 30 point something to 24. Yeah. So, that's why I can see the Cowboys doing it well against that schedule this year, even without Parsons.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So let's go to the Eagles.
Philly.
Yeah. I don't think we have a play on this one. The over under is 10.5. I think we're pretty close to the number. Is that what you have?
I had Philadelphia at 11, and you had them at 10. And if anything, right now, I would actually be looking under on Philadelphia.
Yeah, I'm not.
Too many extra playoff games, although they only had 1 last year because they blew that game to they lost to San Francisco at home.
AJ
but
Brown
I mean,
dropped 3 passes.
Yeah. Well, he can drop them for New England this year.
I don't think he gave any effort for the Eagles at the end.
No, and that caused friction in the locker room. And wasn't that the topic? Was that during last year where it was AJ Brown and Jalen Hurts having issues?
It was even the year before when he started reading books, but they won the Super Bowl, and then it carried over, and then they didn't win as many games, and it got uglier. When you win, it doesn't matter, but when you lose, it gets magnified.
Yeah.
So
I think it's a better locker room, and I think they made some nice additions this year too.
Yeah, I think.
But
so.
I still think I think part of it is, although Let me go back and check again because I think if I recall correctly, the Eagles actually split with Washington and the Giants because I remember they split the games with the Giants. Remember they lost to the Giants, a bye week, beat the Giants. If I remember
Yes,
that
they,
sequence
they
last year.
split with Washington, but that the game they lost was when they played their backups in week 18. So that doesn't
week
really
18.
count.
So and with Dallas, well, let's see. With Dallas, they won.
They won
They
and
split
then
with
lost.
Dallas. No, they split with Dallas.
Yeah, they split with everyone. Yeah,
They split with everyone. So they were 3
Mhm.
and 3 in the division. I could see him improving on that. Well, no, the Eagles. I'm sorry, the Eagles split with all three of those teams we're talking about.
Yep.
That's what makes me probably not going to play the under because I can't see them splitting with all three teams. I think when we talked about the Eagles, we had them at.
Andy is off. I think he tried to fix his camera, and there we go. He's back on. There we go.
There we go. Yeah.
Yeah.
I turned one off instead of the other one on.
Yeah. I figured.
Although the camera's not working nice, so let me try it again.
Oh man, what is this?
All right, I'm gonna do it the hard way here.
Okay. Well, I mean, as you fix your camera, I feel like we don't need to talk about the Eagles. We're pretty much in lockstep.
I could see them. I can't see them going 9-8. I think they're just too talented a team. But I could see 10-7.
Yeah, I mean that's what.
But then are they going to go 3-3 in the division?
Yeah, I know.
In other words, maybe the Giants and Washington are improved, but maybe that still only means they're going to go 1-1. In other words, maybe last year the wins that they each had over the Eagles were the outliers, that they really should have been 0-2 in those games, and they managed to go 1-1. So now, can they improve? I think if you look at it realistically, although I think the Giants and the Commanders are both improved, I would think going 1-1 with going against 1-1 against Dallas and Philadelphia would be a reasonable expectation for the Giants and the Commanders, because I think I make it hard to envision, though not possible because it happened last year, or that it would improve upon last year. I find it hard to see the Giants or the Commanders sweeping either Philadelphia or Dallas and picking up that one extra win.
Yeah.
So I'm going to pass on the Eagles.
Yeah, and I think the Giants were pretty close as well. They're over under 7.5, so it's already.
And
pretty
on that
high
one, we had the Giants at I had 8.5. You had 6.5.
Okay.
And Washington. I was down on Washington more than you.
Yes. Well, I was more, bullish that Daniels would play more this year. Yeah. So what did I have for Washington?
I had 4. You had 7.
Okay, so you might be looking at the under there. For the alt under the
what's their true number?
7.5.
And what's the vig on that?
The vig on that is minus 125 plus 105.
Minus 125 on the over. And plus how much on the under?
105.
Okay, so let me see what the 6.5 is. I'm sorry, 6.5.
The under 6.5 is plus 175.
Okay.
And then the under 5.5 is plus 305.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't go that low.
Okay.
Do I want to go 6.5? Let me take a look at their schedule. I only came up with 4 wins, but keep in mind a lot of those 4 wins, again, like with every team, there were a lot of toss-ups that went in there.
Right.
So it could be a little bit more than 4, a little bit less than 4. Well, let me see here. Okay, Philadelphia. Let me take a look at their non-conference, non-division games. Indianapolis in London could be a win, could be a loss. Seattle at home, I'd say would be a loss. Although Quinn, getting to go against his old team, I don't think that matters all that much now. It's been a lot of years.
Too long. Yeah.
Where do I consider the winnable games? Philly, Dallas, Seattle. Indy is probably a toss-up. I'm going to eliminate the division. Well, 3 wins. I'm going to say 2 wins in the division. I don't know how they'll come.
Okay.
But going back, I could see Indianapolis being a win. That might make it 3. At Arizona, at Tennessee in back-to-back weeks. That could make it 5. And maybe Atlanta at home could make it 6 in week 18, so 15.
Mhm.
So that's too close even to the 4 to my prediction to play it under 5.5 or even 6.5.
Okay, so you're not going to bet this one.
No.
Okay. All right. Well, that's.
Well, I'm going to put a question mark on the 7.5.
Okay. All right. Well, we have one division left to talk about today, plus
Okay.
Cincinnati. The NFC West, the best division in
Right.
the NFL, that we think. Seattle, the reigning Super Bowl
By
champs.
the way, before we go, what did you have the Giants and the Commanders schedules ranked?
I have the Giants schedule. It's down here. I had the Giants schedule tied for fifth toughest, and Washington at 10th toughest.
Okay.
Arizona. We're about to talk about Arizona, by the way. The toughest schedule in the NFL. The toughest schedule in the NFL. So,
yeah, because they have to play 17 NFL teams.
Well, they're the only team in the NFL that has to play the Seahawks, Rams, and Niners twice.
Yeah, twice. Yeah. What's their numbers? Like 4.5, 5.5, maybe 4.5.
Okay. Yeah. Well. Okay. We'll do Arizona first.
Yeah.
Arizona's number is it's 3.5. Was it really?
Ooh.
That's pretty low. That's already low. I think people know where this is going to go.
Yeah.
Here.
What's the vig on that, on the 3.5? Over.
Minus 130 plus 110. It's better at FanDuel. Maybe we could do that.
They're all approximate. I'm not looking for the best. I'm just looking for, magnitude.
I know, but FanDuel, it seems like the preferred number is 4.5. Actually, it looks like 4. Actually.
Okay, that is a guide.
Yeah, the 4.5 is plus 125 minus 145, whereas the 3.5 at FanDuel is minus 165 plus 140. So the 4.5 is closer to what it should be at FanDuel. DraftKings is 3.5.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me take their schedule out here.
Yeah. Well, we know stuff. Let's.
Yeah, but there might be some wins in there. Let me see where we had those teams. We did that. Let's see. 1, 2, 3. Okay. I had Arizona at 3.5. You had them at 2.5.
Yeah. This is a really tough schedule. They have,
at the Chargers, hosting Seattle, at San Francisco. I guess at the Giants is a possible.
It's still gonna be sizable underdogs. Yeah.
What's that?
There's still gonna be sizable underdogs. Like I think the Giants would be like 5.5 or 6-point favorites.
We'll see how they start out.
Yeah.
Although I'd have to say, yeah, probably with Harbaugh in there. Detroit, the Rams, Denver, Dallas, Seattle, the Rams at Kansas City, Washington, Philadelphia at home. Oh, they might be 2.5-point favorites over the bye.
Maybe.
Jets at home.
Jets at home. There you go.
Might be a winnable game.
Yeah.
At New Orleans, probably not. Home to Vegas.
Yeah, maybe. But then again,
possibly.
Yeah, Mendoza will have plenty of experience by then. Yeah. So we think
that's a home game, and then San Francisco. Yeah, it's hard to find 4 wins for this team.
Yeah, that's such a tough schedule. Oh my God.
But it's the NFL.
Yeah.
I cannot bet under. I could. What's under 5.5?
Under 5.5. Let's go with FanDuel.
Well, no, I'm sorry. 3.5 is the number that we were using.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's different, but other books. So, what number you wanted to see? 5.5? Under 5.5?
Yeah.
It's minus 290.
What's 4.5?
Minus 145.
Yeah.
And then 3.5 is plus 140. Under 2.5 is plus 290. Yeah. I can do that.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, this is at what? FanDuel?
Yeah, that's the better number.
That's the better one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I the funny thing is, if I had to play a number like 3.5, I would almost by default have to go over.
Yeah, I know. It's tough. Like they could luck into a couple wins, and then maybe they beat the Raiders late.
They catch a team that's not playing their best that day.
Yeah.
but it's hard not knowing this quarterback situation.
Right. Yeah, Brissett's
Oh.
holding out. Like Brissett may not even start. It could be
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Could be Carson
So
Beck.
Carson Beck probably
Yeah,
over
or Minshew. It'd probably be Minshew to start and then Carson Beck eventually.
Who's that first game that I said against?
Chargers.
Chargers.
Yeah,
On the road.
That's the easy survivor, a bye to week 2.
Yeah.
You know, everyone would be on it, but that's not where I want to be different.
Who's the coach this year?
Of Arizona, Mike LaFleur.
Oh, one of your favorites.
Mike LaFleur? Well,
Yeah.
was one of my favorites.
I'm being sarcastic.
No, I don't think I've ever mentioned his name on the show.
Oh, I thought you didn't like him.
No, Mike LaFleur. No.
Yeah, I thought you mentioned him.
I don't think I've ever mentioned Mike
Oh.
LaFleur. Okay, maybe it's someone else we're thinking of. I don't know.
No, I thought it was you. You're the one who normally expresses when I'm having a conversation. You're usually the one that expresses confidence.
You're saying I'm opinionated?
No, that's good. That's good.
I know. I'm just kidding.
That's good.
That's good.
Yeah, and when we disagree, it makes for good. I say good radio when we're doing radio. It makes good podcast when we disagree.
Oh yeah.
But
absolutely.
what was I going to say? That just out of the changes that some coaches bring in and everything. Well, let me go back again and take a look at Arizona over the last few years, because they had a period of time when they were a respectable franchise.
2 years ago, they almost made the playoffs.
Yeah. So here's their history since 2021: 11 wins, 4 wins, 8 wins in the 2024, and 3 wins last year.
Yeah.
So I could see, what's that?
3.5, 4.5 seems right. You know.
Yeah, I could. And what do we say that? What's over the 3.5?
The over 3.5. We have to go to DraftKings for this. Is minus 130.
Yeah. You know what? If it were the reverse around, if it were like minus 130 on the under, plus 110 on the over, I might play the over.
Okay.
What is it? Well, no, it's minus 130. So at FanDuel, it'll probably be maybe minus 120.
It's no, on FanDuel the over is minus 165.
Oh,
they favor the under on FanDuel.
Oh, okay. Because I thought you said FanDuel as well. Well, we were looking at the over. No, we were looking at the unders, and you're saying it's a better number on the under 3.5.
Yeah. The FanDuel favors the under. DraftKings favors the over. Or DraftKings has better numbers for the over. FanDuel better numbers.
All right, are you going to do anything with them? I doubt it.
No, the number's way too low already.
All right, let's get to the 3 NFL teams in that division then.
No, I'll just bet against them every week. You know, you just make your money that way. You know. Okay, so let's go to Super Bowl champs, Seattle. They're over under 10.5, minus 115, minus 105.
Hold on a second here.
Yep.
10.5, minus 115, minus 105.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let me go back to Seattle.
Yeah, where how many wins?
Seattle. Okay, Seattle going back to 2021. Okay. 7, 9. Oh, hold on a second.
Camera off.
There we go.
What's that? 9?
Number 9. 32 or 33, I think. I lost count.
It's actually 9. It's not.
That's close to that. Yeah. Okay, starting in 2021, 7 wins, 9 wins, 9 wins, 10 wins in the coach's first year, didn't make the playoffs, and then 14 last year.
Yeah.
So what's their total now?
10.5.
10.5. Well, you got the Super Bowl winner coming back.
Number 10.
What's that?
Number 10.
Oh, okay. We were talking about 10.5 wins. Now I know what you meant.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I looked down for a moment. There we go. Thinking about Seattle. Let me go back and see what we had on that one. We had Seattle. I had 11. You had 12.
Right.
And 10.5 is minus. I can't play that one.
It's minus 105 at FanDuel. The over 11.5. Over 11.5 is plus 165. I
Who do
don't
they?
think.
Let me see who they play. Non-division.
Yeah, it's tougher this year.
Yeah.
Their schedule. I think they play the
Well, and also they got the
NFC
whole
East.
the running back situation is brand new.
Mhm.
How
Yeah, to me,
long
I'm
is
not
Charbonnet
like
expected to be out?
at least half the year. He tore his ACL in January. You know.
Okay, yeah. Let's see here. Okay, the season is New England, Arizona, at Washington. They could win those games. Well, no, I want to look at the losses.
Hmm.
I think they beat New England. Could they lose it? Yeah, but I think they
Yeah.
they know how to beat New England.
Yep.
I suppose I will say that they could lose one of the two home games against the Chargers and 49ers.
Yeah, I think there's a decent chance they split both the
Yeah.
Niners and Rams games.
I would say
At Denver, short rest.
when I look at their
short
next four
travel,
games, at Denver, home to Kansas City, home to Chicago, home to Arizona, I'll give them one loss there.
Okay.
So that's two losses.
Uh-huh. I think they go. I think they could lose two of those games.
Well, I'll tell you what. I'm gonna say that they're gonna split in their division, 3-3.
You
I'm
think-
sorry, 4 and
no,
2.
no. Yeah,
4
I
and
was
2.
I was about to say
They're
giving
gonna
Arizona wins.
split with the Rams. They're gonna
Yeah.
split with the Rams and the Niners, and they're going to sweep Arizona. So there's two losses.
Yeah.
Okay, one of them could be that home game to San Francisco, or it could be the home game against the Chargers that we have as a loss.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's just say two losses. I'm saying they could lose to Chicago at home.
I think. Yeah, I think so.
Okay,
They
that
don't
could be
play that
three.
well at home. Yeah.
Yeah, that could be 3.
Mhm.
I think they could lose at home to Dallas.
Sure. Yeah.
It's coming. They have a bye week at San Francisco, and then host Dallas.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry. Yeah, then host Dallas. Okay. Well, they do have extra rest after San Francisco because that's Thanksgiving weekend. So they actually, well, it's they play on the Sunday of Thanksgiving, and then they play the following Monday night. But they could lose to Dallas. So that's 4 losses. Or is that no? That's 5 losses. Because they're gonna they're gonna split. They're gonna 4 and yeah. They're gonna lose 2 games. San Francisco and the Rams. I'll say Chicago and Dallas could be losses. That's 4. At Philadelphia, that could be a loss. So now we're 12-5. I could see 11-6 being reasonable, which is too little to make a play on them.
Yeah. 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 I'm not in love with this. I don't think I'd do it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's a pass.
Yep. All right. So let's get to the Rams, who are the favorites now. Their over under is 11.5 minus 115 minus 105.
I'm sorry, 11.5 minus 115 on the over.
Mm-hmm.
And minus 105 on the under.
Yes. The over is more expensive on FanDuel, so we'll stick with DraftKings.
Yeah.
I think I'm at like 14 wins. I think when we did the number.
Let me see. We'll go back. I had him at 11.5. You had him at 14.5.
14.5. Yeah.
So I'm going to pass on that because
yeah.
I have 11.5.
Yeah.
Well, the problem is, well, we do have him going 1.5. 1-1 against San Francisco and Seattle.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'd have to take a look at the rest of the schedule, who those non-games are. So, I mean, because again, I had the toss-ups there. I think we're now at 33. There we go. Okay. I'm just going to keep this thing hovered over the camera. Let's see. San Francisco. Yeah. Well, yeah. You know why I can't play it over? I think also the tough start they have. San Francisco and Melbourne, home to the Giants, at Denver, at Philadelphia, then Buffalo. Mm-hmm. They could be 2-3.
Yeah.
Could be 1-4.
Yeah. It's not easy.
They could lose to San Francisco and Melbourne, beat the Giants at home, lose at Denver, lose at Philadelphia, lose at Buffalo at home. Okay, so I'll say that they could have 3 losses right there. I won't give them 4.
Yeah,
I'll say they'll, and then they play Arizona.
Well, they have
Chargers.
the neutral site game against the Chargers.
Yeah, why doesn't it say that here?
Say what?
My schedule here is only showing that as a home game.
Well,
as opposed to the San Francisco game where it shows Melbourne.
Well, it's the same stadium. It's like officially a Rams home game,
Yeah.
but
Oh, okay, yeah. That's still a toss-up. It's still the Rams.
Yeah.
Let's see. Green
And
Bay
then-
should be a win. Kansas City.
Chiefs.
You'd like to be a win even with Mahomes back.
Mahomes will be 100%. No, maybe closer to 100%. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I got to pass on the Rams.
Yeah, you know what?
I could see them 11-6 or 12-5.
They got bad news recently with Alaric Jackson being
Yeah.
arrested for domestic violence. That was the second time he's been arrested for domestic violence, and so the NFL could suspend them even if he's not charged. I actually don't think he was charged, but he could be suspended because it's the second time.
Second offense, yeah.
Yeah, and the Rams, like their offensive line is good, but they have no depth. And
Well, again, as we talk about it, we should have mentioned it with Evan when we had him on.
Yeah.
The two weaknesses, the special teams, which we sort of talked about for the bad beats,
yeah,
and then the short yardage situation on third and fourth
Yeah.
down.
again, which was why I thought really
About the only thing the Rams excel on fourth down and 1 or 2 yards is the reverse tush push.
right. I think that's why I was like, I can't believe they didn't draft Vega Owane at number 13. Like that, they played the Seahawks 3 times. They saw what Gray Zabel did for the Seahawks, and they didn't do the same thing with Owane. I thought that was crazy. But yeah, so yeah, I would think about it. The over 12.5 is plus 175. I would maybe make this play if I don't think Alec Jackson's gonna be suspended. If he is, though, they're gonna be it's gonna be a 3rd round rookie playing left tackle and Trost. I don't like that, but
Well, it all depends when they make the announcement on Jackson.
right. So we can wait on this one. So
Yeah.
we'll circle back to that. The final team in the division, the Niners. Their over under is what is it? It's technically 10. So the
Well, what is it shown as?
it's shown at 9.5 minus 146 plus 120
A 9.5 minus 46. 10.5 is what?
plus 120.
Okay, so what's the spread in those? Minus 146, and what's the plus on the under?
Plus 120.
So that's 66. And what'd
Yeah.
you say it's on the 10.5?
Plus 125 minus 150.
Sorry, say that one again. Minus.
Plus 125 minus
120.
150.
That's 75. What did I say the first one was?
60 something. Yeah. No. Yeah, 66.
Yeah, so it's probably right on 10.
Yeah.
But let's go with the 10.5 as
Okay.
the first number. Well, yeah, let me put that vig down. Okay, I'm sorry. You got it last time. What's the vig on the 10.5?
Plus 125
And the under?
minus 150.
Okay, yeah. So the under, to play the under minus 150.
Well, I could
look over the 10.5.
Yeah. Or we're
plus-
doing over, right? We both
Yeah.
have them heading more wins than 10.5, right?
Yeah. What did I say on that one? We had 12.5 each.
Okay. So
Yeah. So I could play over the 10.5 at plus 125.
what about 11.5? It's plus 235. That's a nice number. I mean,
Plus
they won 12. They
235?
won 12 games last year
Yeah.
with all those injuries.
235. I'm just curious what the under is on that.
Minus 300.
Minus 300. Let me see here. 12 with the injuries. Ayuk is no longer a concern. He wasn't last year because he didn't play, but that whole thing is going to be history. Let me try number 39. There we go.
Third place schedule too.
Yeah. And the other thing with San Francisco, once again, it's kind of like, a team like, well, it's San Francisco. San Francisco was kind of like a team that had it was kind of like the Dallas Cowboys, except for the fact that they didn't bounce back last year after they had won 12-12-12 before dropping the last two.
Yeah.
49ers, 20-21, 10, 13, 12, drop to 6, up to 12. Yeah, I could certainly look at least a half unit at the plus 235 for the 11.5.
Yeah, I like that number. I think that's. I think I'd go full unit on that one.
Because I would think, all things being equal, if one of the teams is going to regress, it might be Seattle.
Yes.
But again, they're coming from 14 wins. But I mean, if there's a team that could end up, having difficulty, I'm not going to say qualifying for the playoffs, but making it to 10 or making it to 11 or 12 wins.
Yeah.
I mean, if Seattle goes to 12, they still get a nice price over the 11.5. But 12.5 would be a lot to expect to get to 13. And as I mentioned, I had Seattle at 11, and we both had San Francisco. You had them at 12, and I had San Francisco. We both had San Francisco at 12.5. So playing over 11.5 and getting better than 2-1. And all they have to do is equal what they did last year and for the 2 years before 2024. I think that's what I said. Did I say 12 and 13? I think in 2023, 2024. Let me get back there for a second.
Yeah, they only had one down year, and that's like they had a lot of injuries that year.
Well, they had in 2021 they had 10 wins.
Right.
And then they had 13, then 12, then 6,
Purdy.
then 12. What's that?
That was before Purdy.
Yeah. The 13?
The 10 in 2021
okay.
was before Purdy.
Okay, yeah. So 13, 12, 6, and 12. How did the injuries compare in 2024 to 2025?
Well, McCaffrey was out for
2024.
All but 4 games.
Yeah,
so
there's your answer.
That was exactly.
There's your answer. I feel comfortable playing the over 11.5. I haven't decided to be a half unit or a full unit.
Yeah, I remember that was the year where he was questionable heading into week 1.
Yeah, he went to the treatment over in Germany or wherever.
Yeah, he was questionable heading into week 1, and he didn't play until like week 10.
Yeah,
it's crazy. I think he'll miss some time this year, but he definitely won't miss 13 games. That would be shocking.
I'd say 3 to 5 games would be okay, and they have enough talent around them to win.
Yeah,
2 or 3 of those 5 games.
Yeah. Trent Williams is back. They get Nick
Warner is back.
Yeah, Warner's back from injury. Nick Bosa back from injury. Nick Bosa only played 2 games last year.
Yeah,
it's crazy. It's crazy.
Kittle,
12 games.
Kittle will be back at some point.
Probably like week 6, week 7. Yeah.
Okay.
But like
it'll be a package deal. He and Parsons are going to return for their teams in week 6.
It's really insane that they won 12 games. Nick Bosa played 2 games. Fred Warner missed half the year. George Kittle missed half the year. Brandon Ayuk didn't play. Trent Williams, he missed 1 game. But
it was an outstanding coaching job.
Yeah, Brock Purdy missed like 6 games or so.
Oh, 6, that many, yeah.
Maybe 5 or 6 games. It's great. It's absolutely insane. Ricky Pearsall, their number 2 receiver, he missed like 8 or 9 games. It's crazy how they still won 12.
Gee, when you mention all that, now that I'm thinking about it, what's the price for over 16.5?
Well, there is a 12.5. If you're curious, plus 425.
Yeah. No, I'll be happy with the 11.5.
Yeah,
and the 12.5.
Yeah, I think I would stick to 11.5. 13 wins is a tough ask in that division.
Yeah.
12 is very doable, as we've seen. And then as I promised, we'll do one last team, Cincinnati. We'll close out
What's
Cincinnati.
Their total? 9.5?
10.5 plus 115 minus 140 on DraftKings.
I'm sorry. Yeah, go ahead. What was that number on the 10.5 on the first one?
Plus 115 minus 140.
Plus 115 minus 140. Okay.
Yes. Okay. Yeah, we'll stick with that. Okay. Yeah. Plus 115. The 11.5 is plus 210.
Hold on a second here. Let me write this down here.
Okay.
And the 12.5.
There is no 12.5 here. There might be 12.5 on FanDuel. No, there's not. It only goes to 11.5 in these sports books. Hopefully,
that's weird. That's weird because we've had teams over with 9.5, haven't we? Yeah, like Dallas, we had a 9.5 for the regular number, and they had 10.5 and 11.5. Here you've got 10.5. Let me see another team where it was 10.5.
Yeah, I'm actually gonna look at
Detroit. Detroit,
Yeah.
10.5 minus 110, 11.5 plus 75, 12.5 plus 320.
Yeah, it's very strange.
Yeah.
Maybe yeah, BetMGM does not have that either. Yeah,
Oh.
they don't have
All
12
right.
and a half. Maybe Circle will have it. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, 11 and a half plus 210. What did we how many wins did we have?
Let
for
me
that
see
one?
what we had on that one because we did the AFC first.
Yeah.
So let me go back.
This is week 2 of doing that because I think we
Yeah,
did East West first.
Let's see. I believe I had 12. I think we both had 12.5.
Okay.
Yeah.
So 11 and a half is plus 210. Do you have interest in that?
Yes, because I also have interest in the 10.5.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, me too. Yeah. And
I don't know if it'll be a full unit or a half unit, but
okay. I think I'd be full unit on this. They played the NFC South. It's an easy schedule.
yeah.
I think the third easy schedule in the NFL, according to the Sluey.
The Sluey.
Third easy schedule in the NFL.
Yeah. In fact, hold on just a moment because I want to grab something that I mentioned earlier. I'll be right back.
Okay. Well,
Hopefully, I'll be back, and so will the camera. Right now, it's there.
While Andy steps away, we'll look at the
Actually, it's not. It's still right now. So let me.
Okay.
Hold on just a moment. Then I'm gonna get one bit of information.
Yeah.
There we go.
So to look at this third easiest schedule, you can see why is the third easiest schedule. They have Tampa at home to start, then at Houston. It's like one of their toughest games on the road against Houston. They have at Pittsburgh. I'm very down on the Steelers this year. Home against Jacksonville, another tough game for sure. But it's at home. And then they play at Miami, at Baltimore. So the 2 Ravens games are going to be tough, obviously. But then they look at these next games. The Tennessee at home, at Atlanta, Steelers at home, at Washington, Saints at home, at the Browns. Like they could reel off 6 straight wins there, really. Then they played the Chiefs at home. Now Mahomes probably be close to 100% there, but the Bengals always play the Chiefs very tough. And then they close out with at Carolina, at Indianapolis, home against Baltimore, home against Cleveland. So very, very easy. Well, it's not like the easiest schedule, obviously, but it's very doable. So, Andy, are you back, or is that I can't, he's you're there, but you're not there. So, and now I hear you, so I think you're back. I wasn't sure if you were there, Andy, because you're still on camera, and so I was like, "Are you there? Or are you not?"
Oh yeah, no, I stepped away to get what I wanted.
Yeah.
Let me see. Let's see if this works. The camera should
be working. Yeah. So we have a baseline for next week.
Okay. No, I wanted to go back. I don't know if do you get a lot of the do you get like Lindy's or Athlon?
I used to.
Magazines?
No, I just look online for that now.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, I like to have it because I like to be able to turn the pages. I'm old school on that. I
used to feel the same way. I don't know.
Yeah.
But then I stopped.
I mean, I like to have it, but I like to, it's kind of like bathroom reading material too. And I just use my phone. I just use
my phone in the bathroom.
Yeah, but I'm saying that the print is larger. No, okay. I have, for example, they have strength of schedule. Like I'll go through.
14.
I'll go over the NFC West here, and this is based on the records from last year.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, which is not the best way to do it, but it's reasonable. Yeah. Overall, Seattle. Arizona has the most difficult schedule overall, which makes sense. Then comes very close between San Francisco and the Rams. Between Seattle and the Rams, and San Francisco has the weakest overall schedule. Within the division, actually the one that I like is the non-division. The 8 non-division games, interestingly enough, Seattle, the Rams, and San Francisco have the same exact. They all have the same difficulty of schedule because they play the same 8 teams in their non-divisional 4 games.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, here we go. We got another number here for the camera.
It's 15.
Okay. It's the 3 non-division games. And here there's a widespread difference. Arizona, 0.353. San Francisco, 0.471. Rams, 0.578. and Seattle 0.647. Now that's a sample size of only 3 games, but those are the 3 non-common games.
Okay.
So Arizona has obviously the easiest. It was the number 4 team. Seattle has the most difficult. What surprises me is the great difference with just 3 teams, that there's that great of a difference. From 35% to 47%, that's 12%. 10% to the next one, and then 7 to 8% between team 2 and team 1.
Yeah, it's
no. So Lindy's does that for everything. The other thing I like about Lindy's is it gives you, for every player on the roster, the pre-camp roster, it gives you a comment or two about every player, even if it's a third-string defensive lineman.
Mm-hmm.
So at least you get some idea of what the scouts are saying, or the observers, the general managers, whatever. So I find those magazines to be good.
Yeah. I don't know if you remember the NBA. Well, they used to have them for every sport. They used to have like these books, and like each team would have like a write-up for each player. I used to get one of them for the NBA.
What do you mean? What kind of books? Magazine, or
it would be a season preview for the year. But it would actually
is that
be
a book or a magazine?
No, it would be a book, and every player had the picture, and then they the name, and then they
okay, so it'd be like an NBA preview book.
Yeah.
Kind of like Football Outsiders or whatever they call it, where they would have every team and they'd have a comment about every player.
Yes.
All in a nice 500-page book.
Yeah.
Which I think its main use was for fantasy back in the day.
Yeah. Well, for this it wasn't. I could put it on the screen here. Xander Hollander used to be. Yeah.
In fact, hold on just a moment.
I have some of those books too, but like. Yeah, I'm gonna put it on the screen here. Like this. Let me enlarge it. Yeah, 1990 Complete Handbook of Pro Basketball. They had these for every sport. These books were so good. Like they had write-ups for every player. They had these cool articles too. But like, you got a whole write-up on every player, and they went from like best player to worst player, for every team.
Let me see if I could put this up here from the 2005-2006.
Okay, well that's okay. That's not what I'm talking about. So
it's John Hollander.
Oh, John Hollander. Xander Hollander was the guy I'm thinking of. Maybe that's his son.
Oh, it could be, because I remember the name of Xander Hollander. But this has a whole bunch of thing with the careers and comments about Derek Coleman, Carlos Delfino.
Yeah,
goes there through every team.
I have it on the screen here. I don't know if you can see it. Like
what's that say? The complete what?
The Complete Handbook of Pro Basketball. Yeah.
What year was that?
1990.
1990.
Yes,
they 8 years old at the time.
Yeah, I actually have this book, or my dad has it somewhere.
Oh.
But they had one for every sport. Actually,
I'm pretty sure that I had that book at one point.
Yeah, I don't know if they did baseball, but I know they did basketball, football, and hockey. I'm not sure about. They probably did baseball too. But yeah, they used to have a write up on every player. They had his picture, and then it used to be like
how big of a write off? Like 3-4 sentences?
No, it would be like
much deeper than that. Okay,
no, it would be a huge.
Well, yeah, fewer teams back then too.
Yeah, it would be a huge paragraph. It would be like probably a couple hundred words on each player. Oh. Yeah, they were great. Unfortunately, he passed away. But
Xander
Hollander, yeah, he passed away. I think like about 10 years ago. But I love those books. I used to get them every year when they came out. They were so good.
Is that from eBay? That pictures from
thriftbooks.com. I don't know.
Okay.
It came up on Google. But yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah. Oh.
Oh, there we go.
What happened there? Hit the wrong button?
I thought
accidentally.
Yeah, I thought I was still on the I thought I was still on the other screen. Let me go back. I got confused here. All right, so let me go back here. This is what I meant to do.
Yeah.
So so they had like these 93. This Jordan one I definitely had.
Abe Books. I just ordered something from Abe Books.
Yeah. So yeah, the complete handbook.
I
pro
remember that.
basketball.
Well, yeah, I remember that one. Yeah, I used to get those all the time too.
Yeah. I love those.
I don't
so
remember
much.
the hockey. I don't know if I remember the hockey one or not.
Okay.
But I remember the basketball, and I'm not sure if I remember by him NFL. But I remember there were other guides.
They had NFL. I actually bought one when I was writing my first book.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So yeah,
I have the official. Remember the NFL, the old official NFL record book that they now give out for free online in PDF file.
It's on my shelf right there. I could step away for 2 seconds. I'll get it.
What year?
2006, 2005. There's a couple far away.
Hold on just a moment. Hold on.
Okay. Well, I guess I will be right back too. I'll get in 1 second. This is riveting podcasting. We're showing off books. The NFL 2001 record and fact book. These are awesome too. I used to get these all the time. So I actually have a piece of paper in here. It's probably notes I was taking. I have no idea what this is. I think this is this is fantasy teams. Wow. This is crazy. I have a Kenny. I was in a league with Kenny. This is 2001, so this is probably the first ever fantasy team I ever did with Kenny. My team was Mike Vick, Sean Alexander, Corey Dillon, Eric Molds, Daryl Jackson, Kevin Dyson, Freddie Jones, Tiki Barber, Deshaun Foster, Cordell Stewart, Quincy Morgan, David Sloan, Darnay Scott, and Des White. Kenny's team: Aaron Brooks, Mike Bennett, William Green, Randy Moss, Torrey Holt, Plaxico Burris, Frank Wycheck, Lavernius Coles, Jay Fiedler, Clinton Portis, TJ Duckett, Mike Westbrook, Quincy Carter, and David Terrell. Andy, 1977. I'm showing you 2001 here.
Oh, wait a minute. That's not even the oldest one. By the way, this book was $1.95.
That's crazy.
And it was 300, almost 400 pages. However, I got one that's even older.
Nice. What's that?
1970.
Wow, that's awesome.
Set me back $1.25.
I wonder if it goes for anything now. Let's look it up.
Yeah, it might go for $6.
All right, let's 1970 NFL record.
And official National Football League record book.
Well, that's 90 is $20. Is this it? Right here?
Oh, let me see.
Is that what you have?
Let me see. Actually, yeah, it looks like a little slightly different cover. What does it say? 1970?
Yeah.
Okay, well that's a larger edition then. This is a pocketbook side. 19.99,
okay.
$20.
$20, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Well,
Do you have another one there for? Yeah.
Better than the $6 estimate that you had.
I have the official. Remember Sporting News Guides?
Yes.
Yeah. What was that one that you just passed? Keep going. Back up. Right there. No, keep going down. That one right there in the middle.
Okay. Oh, this looks like yours. Yeah. That's 1970.
Yeah. It says 1970 right underneath the words record book.
Yeah, it's 30.
Just made $10.
It's going for $30.
Yeah, so I'm not looking to sell it.
Yeah, I wouldn't either. So anyway, like I was saying, in this 2001, I found a piece of paper here, and it's fantasy teams that I had with Kenny. This is the first, probably the first fantasy team I ever did.
2001. So you were like just out of high school.
Yes, I was going to my sophomore year of Penn State. Yeah, okay. What'd you say? I was going to my sophomore year at Penn State. So I read my fantasy team.
Now back in those days,
Mm.
you were in a fantasy football league, right?
Yeah, I started fantasy in like 95.
Okay. Back in those days, you probably did everything through the U.S. mail, right?
Well, not 2001, but in 95,
Yeah.
Or 94, we drafted in person, but like I used to have to phone my commissioner on Sunday morning and submit my lineup. And
right.
he would criticize me. He would question my decisions. Like I had my quarterbacks were John Elway and Jeff Hostetler, and Jeff Hostetler was very hot for a while. John Elway was struggling.
Yeah.
And so I was like, I'm going to start Hostetler this week. And my commissioner's like, are you sure about that? It's like he's questioning me.
Who won out in the long run over the course of the season? Him questioning you, or you sticking with your players?
I don't even know. My team was a disaster.
I was saying, when they did the standings, didn't they have to send the standings by U.S. mail?
Well, no. I mean, it was a league with people I had in middle school, or it was 6th, 7th, 7th grade probably.
Right.
And so every Monday we would tally up the scores during lunch. Like he would bring in the Philadelphia Daily News and we would tally up the scores. Like no one knew who won until then. So.
Oh, okay. No, I thought maybe because I've been in some leagues around that time, and the commissioner always had to do everything by hand back then. This is before the internet, or certainly before the internet was as populated with websites for special industries or sources of information. That you had to do it by hand, and you'd send something out. I even remember, like, what was it, CDM? Didn't they used to run a lot of leagues? I think it was CDM.
I don't even remember
years ago, and those were like in the national leagues where they would national. They would advertise like in the Sporting News.
Mm-hmm.
The old news. Do you remember the Sporting News newspaper?
Yeah, I mean, Jacob, who used to be on the show with me, works for the Sporting News now, but it's all online.
Well, this was back. It was great. I mean, because you got to remember, I grew up in the prehistoric days, and the Sporting News I used to wait for because they would give all the box scores from like the previous week in the current week's issue of the Sporting News, because the local papers didn't carry a lot of the out of town scores, and if it was a night game, you just never got it because the next day they didn't have enough space for it. So we always used to look forward. I remember I actually had my name in the Sporting News.
You did?
Yeah.
For what?
I think I took the position of the players in one of the strikes.
Okay. Nice. I had my name in the Philadelphia Inquirer once for swimming in high school, but they called me Wilt Cherpinski.
Wilt?
Yeah. So that was disappointing.
That's kind of nice.
I want to race. I remember thinking I want to race. I might be in the newspaper, but now it's Wilt Cherpinski.
I remember. This is back in the mid 1990s. Remember Pro Football Weekly?
Yeah.
Love that magazine.
Yeah, it's good.
I still have an issue where I was mentioned in there. It was back in the 1990s, the Stardust Racing Sportsbook. They would have a handicapping contest every year.
Mm-hmm.
And they would have two people in the handicapping betting sportsbook industry on Friday night come out and present to the audience, and it was on the radio. They would present to the audience, I think it was their 7 top selections, college and pro football, for the weekend against the point spread. Mm-hmm. And I believe it could be side or total. And I happened to be in the opening match against a longtime handicapper who's no longer here, but you might not remember the name unless you used to watch Proline. I don't know if you watched Proline
all the time
in the 1980s and early 90s.
80. That's before my betting time.
Yeah.
Who was his name?
Larry Ness.
Oh yeah, Larry Ness.
Okay,
of course. Yeah. I knew Larry Ness.
So he and I were the first two people to compete, and I forget what it was. I think it may have been like Jerry McGee from the San Diego area was a columnist for the Pro Football Weekly at the time. And he wrote a column about this handicapping contest, because they didn't give a lot of coverage to betting in a lot of these publications, even Pro Football Weekly back then. But they put a nice little article in there. I have it somewhere We talked about it, and it was a nice thing. In fact, I actually have a picture of my name being up in lights on the Stardust marquee.
Wow, that's awesome.
From that, it was actually was it Stardust? Yeah, it was the Stardust. It was. It wasn't from that show. I think it was like a couple of years later because they ran the contest for 5 or 6 years, right around the turn of the century, like 95 to 99, something like that. I mean, that's when that was. I mean, the Westgate contest has been going on, I think, since 1988.
Jeez,
I've been in it every year since 1991, which was my first year here. So this will be year number 36.
Well, maybe it's time you win. Yeah.
Yeah, I've had a couple of nice finishes. I had a couple of top 10 finishes over the years.
Yeah, I had one top 10. 2020.
Yeah. It was when they only paid like 20 places. 2020?
Yeah, 2020. Yeah.
Was that Westgate or Circa?
It's Westgate. I don't think Circa existed yet.
Okay. It started in 2019 with the Circa Millions, and 2020 was Survivor.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, there's a Circa Millions 8 already.
Okay, I guess I didn't play the first two. I want to say because I don't remember playing Circa that year. I don't know. Maybe I did. I could
probably go back and check. Actually,
it's not important. I definitely played in 2021, but
yeah,
not. I don't know. I'm not sure, but anyway, yeah. I mean, anything else you wanted to talk about? We're 3.5 hours over.
Yeah, no, I think that's good. I think that I can still make it to the 7-Eleven is 24/7.
Mm-hmm.
So I just want to make it. I just want to. I should be able to make it. There's no shift change at this hour.
Okay. All right.
Got to get my host of snowballs and my devil dogs and my Twinkies.
Nice. I have,
and then some junk food in addition.
I have a celery stick waiting upstairs for me. So, anyway, so thanks guys for watching and commenting. Really appreciate it. Thanks for the questions for those who asked. And I think we got some good winners here for the alts, and we'll do the AFC next week, and then we'll do make or miss playoffs the week after, and then
player props.
Yep. And then
Well, you and I already have 2 player props, right? That we made.
The awards. Yeah, DJ Moore
DC,
and Trey Hendrickson.
Yeah. What was one, like 125 to 1 or something?
I think one was like 250 to 1. I can check right now.
Yeah, DJ Moore and
I believe DJ Moore is 250 to 1.
Oh.
And Trey Hendrickson I think might even be. Well, let me look. Okay. We have DJ Moore's 250 to 1. Trey Hendrickson's 50 to 1.
Okay, that sounds a little bit more reasonable.
Mm-hmm.
That Hendrickson would be, because he. Well, I mean, they're both beneficiaries of being traded to, in theory, better teams.
Yep.
Okay. Certainly, DJ Moore. I'd still say Buffalo's a better team than Chicago, but Chicago, is a solid team, and Cincinnati going from a poor defense to a bad defense is improvement. Although Baltimore's defense probably will be better, especially because you got some new, coordinator coming in, who is familiar with the organization, and probably coached a number of these guys. How long was Minter with Baltimore? Do you recall?
I'm not sure. I don't know.
I mean, did he come in with Jim Harbaugh, or was he there before Harbaugh? With your favorite Staley?
Jesse Minter was he came in 2017,
and he was with him until
and then he left until 2020, and then he came with the Chargers in 2024. So he was with both Harbaughs. It's funny. So he was with John Harbaugh.
Jim?
Yeah, he was with John Harbaugh from 2017 to 2020, and then he's with Jim Harbaugh for the last 2 years.
Okay. Okay, so but I wanted to know when he was with the Ravens. 2017 to 2020.
Yeah, and then he was with. That's funny. It's pretty funny. He went to Vanderbilt for a year, but then he went to Michigan. So he was with Jim Harbaugh again, in Michigan, and then the Chargers.
Went with him to the Chargers.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah. No, I was going to say that Minter probably is not familiar with anyone, or maybe more than 2 or 3 guys on the current Ravens roster from his time there in 2017.
Yeah, I mean, he coached Lamar Jackson. Well, not.
Oh yeah,
but Lamar Jackson.
I was talking about his knowledge of the tendencies of the defensive players that he might have coached.
Yeah, I mean,
Probably
who-
aren't too many of those.
no, I can't imagine there were maybe a couple, but
Well,
that's about it.
2020, even 2017 is less than 10 years.
Yeah, well,
Or
2020.
this would be
yeah.
the 10th year. 2020 is what about this would be the 7th year,
Yeah.
beginning in 2020. 2020 was the COVID year,
Mm-hmm.
and we've had 5 full seasons since then.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. In 2020, like their defense. Well, Calais Campbell went back to Baltimore, didn't he?
yeah, you heard about
So-
his brother, didn't you?
Calais Campbell. No.
You-
what happened?
yeah, his brother apparently killed their mother.
Serious? Well, really?
Yeah,
Oh my God.
they said that he showed up at his mother's house. That maybe the mother had said something about his brother was battling like mental illness or something. I didn't read all the details, but I heard about that, and I said, "Wow, Calais Campbell. I mean, he's still active, and I didn't realize
No.
that he's like in his 20th season or something.
Oh yeah.
I think it was drafted. Well, not quite 20, but I think it was drafted like in 09 or something.
Wow, that's crazy.
But yeah, no, I just saw that. I think it was either yesterday or today.
Oh, so it's okay. Past 2 days then. Okay.
Yeah, very recent.
Wow. I didn't see that. That's crazy. Jeez. So he's there. So look, the Ravens have 3 defensive players still on the roster. That would be Calais Campbell, Justin Matabuke, now known as Nnamdi Matabuke, and Marlon Humphrey.
And that's from 2020 or 2017.
2020.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he's got some familiarity, and they're obviously, since they've been there that long, they're veterans. So,
Yeah, that's true.
yeah, I think Baltimore's going to be an improved defense because their defense really slipped. I think it was just the last 2 years it took a dramatic shot. Do you happen to have at hand where they ranked defensively in 2023? Ravens.
In terms of what yardage? Or what do you mean?
Whatever metric you want to use, yards per play. DVOA, which you like to use?
Well, EPA. I use EPA.
Okay, EPA, yeah.
I don't know if I have 2023. But they're in total yards, they were 6th in yards.
In 2023?
Yeah.
Where are they with 2024 and 2025?
10th in yards and 2024, and it's the source I'm using did not update for 2025 yet, but okay. But they allowed many more points.
Yeah.
In fact, they allowed more points last year than they had in any year since 2015.
Okay. Yeah, I just wanted to know where 2024. I thought 2024 was the year where they had a significant gap defensively from the previous season, which got further widened from 24 to 25.
Yeah, 2024 they were 9th in points and 10th in yards, so not bad. They definitely slipped a little bit, but not bad. But yeah, last year they definitely slipped for sure.
Yeah. Well, we don't know what they slipped from 2023, but obviously if they were 10th and 9th in 2024, they were probably equally, if not a little bit better in 2023.
2023, they're 1st and 6th in points and yards, respectively.
Okay, there you go.
Yes.
So that's somewhat of a drop off in 2023, still top 10, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And then where'd you say in 2025? Were they 20 something, did you say?
No, well, they allowed more points in 2025 than they had any year since 2015.
Right, but where were the comparative rankings for the two numbers you gave?
I don't have it. The same source doesn't have it.
Okay.
So you're not yet. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So yeah, that's about it for today's show. Thank you guys for watching. Andy, do you want to talk about the logicalapproach.com at all before we head out?
I'm in the finishing stages, like I say every week, but I'm finally in the finishing stages for putting up information about the contests and the proxy service and all that. And I'll have all that up there. What's tonight? Wednesday? In the next couple of days, because I got a lot done today on one project. That's the next project that gets up there. And I still have the information, about the football, the newsletter and the selections and things. And like I say, if you go down that page, which I think is at the start of. Is that the homepage?
No.
No. Okay. So it's a link from the homepage.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, it's accessible on the homepage, and you can go down and take a look at samples and everything, and it explains it all to you. And
Okay.
yeah, that's those are we have the good 20% discounts through the 15th.
Yeah.
And then,
Okay.
10% for another month, and then as I get busier and busier, the discount drops because I've got to spend more time on. I want to get as much administrative stuff out as early as possible, getting things set up, on the computer and all that, and the mailing lists and all that. So I do that, and then when I start going, which is basically July 1st, but I extend it to July 15th because that just seems to be a little bit easier, and I'm actually more fully involved in getting things done on a work day. Like I'll do 8 to 10 hours on football, starting on July 1st, as opposed to the 4 to 6 hours that I spend while I'm doing the NBA, the hockey, and the Major League Baseball, which I still do on a regular basis. But I don't need to do as much on the baseball now on a daily basis because I have a pretty good idea of strengths and weaknesses of the various teams and my go on pitchers and go against pitchers.
Mm-hmm.
So the extra 3 to 4 hours go into football now.
Okay. Sounds good.
So,
Okay. Yeah. So guys, check out thelogicalapproach.com. Check out walterfootball.com as well. We have NFL season previews.
Is that FOOT ball or FUTBOL?
It's double O right now, but maybe we'll buy the other domain too if that's not taken. Tons of content on the site as always. We'll be back tomorrow with the Libertarian Overwatch. We'll be doing a fantasy football draft and maybe talk about some TV shows and stocks and stuff like that.
What is the Libertarian? What'd you say? Overwatch?
The Libertarian Overwatch. He's a channel on YouTube. He's had some really good interviews. He's a friend of the show. Friend of me.
I thought maybe you talked politics or something.
I mean, maybe if people have questions, I'm sure maybe he will definitely talk about it if people have questions. But we'll be here to do fantasy draft and TV shows and stocks. I know he had some questions about inverse ETFs and the puts on them, which have been doing phenomenally well. So I think I found like a cool thing there. But anyway, thanks guys for watching.
How's your portfolio of SpaceX doing?
SpaceX? What do you mean?
Remember that Elon Musk thing from a few weeks ago?
Yeah,
you didn't buy in?
I know I didn't. I bought one put on the inverse bear ETF, and that's definitely down. But it's only one contract, so I just bought it because I know they had to be above 175 for 5 out of 10 days.
You dabbled.
Yeah. It was not a major position at all. I still have it. Like it's the expiration date's July 17th, so it definitely has a chance to.
In fact, I just want to see are there. Well, the buy-in price was 135. The initial trading price began at 150. Yeah. Got as high as where is it? As high as 225, and I think that was on opening day or the second day.
Yeah,
and now it's pulled back to
156 right now.
Yeah, 156.16. I'm showing. Yeah. Actually, it's gone as low as 147.
I don't think it'll go below 135 because I don't think the institutions won't
let that happen.
Yeah, right. They don't want to look bad for the other IPOs that are happening.
And the volume is down from an average of 177 for the first few weeks. It's down to 102. So the enthusiasm and the frenzy has sort of turned into, okay, prove it to me. You got a company that I should invest in.
Yep. Yeah. It's definitely the hype has definitely died down. It didn't last very long. Not a surprise. I was not going to touch that really.
I think his ultimate goal is to have a new public offering, but it's only going to be open to Martians when they get there.
Yeah, maybe they'll raise the stock price. Yeah. Like when the volume will definitely go up then. Yep. All right, guys. We'll be back tomorrow. Please hit like, subscribe, comment below, share this video, visit walterfootball.com and thelogicalapproach.com, and I will talk to you.